Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Never in the 157 years of Reds baseball has Cincinnati won 20 games before the month of May. Until yesterday, their 6-4 victory over the Rockies pushed the Redlegs to 20-11, their best start in 20 years. Cincinnati leads the Chicago Cubs by 1 game in the NL Central. They'll head to Pittsburgh for a weekend series with the Pirates. It starts tonight at 6:35. The Guardians and Tigers are tied atop the AL Central. Cleveland had Thursday off. They'll play in Sacramento tonight against the Athletics. In the NBA last night, the Knicks eliminated the Hawks with a 140-89 win in Game 6 of their first-round playoff series. That's the 6th largest victory in playoff history. New York's going to play either Philadelphia or Boston in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Sixers forced a Game 7 last night with a shocking 106-90 win in Philly. They're going to host. Boston will host that Game 7 Saturday at 7:30. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lesmerises joining us.
Hi, everybody. Tom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on an actual Friday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. A prominent, in fact, the prominent SEC coach calls it like it is when it comes to the Big Ten Conference. We'll get to that at 10 o'clock. Tim Megan to join us at 10:30. What we learned this week coming up at 11 o'clock. And, of course, Doug Lesmerises at 11:30. It is May. It's May 1st. That's where we're at. It doesn't feel like it, but it is. I was listening to T-Bone and Tyvis this morning and just did the crosstalk with those guys, and they were trying to guess Kentucky Derby winning horse names. DG had put up a list he had 10 of them, and is this a horse, is it not a horse? And they were kind of going through it, and I was in the drop-off line, which went absolutely putridly. You know, you get one a week, I guess, one win a week on the drop-off line. And Dylan asked Tyvis if Seattle Slew was an actual horse or not. Did you two know that, by the way, that it was?
Yeah, was he the first Triple Crown winner?
No, there was a long stretch. Did you know, Bake?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so there was a long stretch between. He was the last one to win it. I think he won it in 77 off the top of my head, and then it was forever until, was it American Pharoah that won it?
Yeah.
Or Justified, one of those ones won it. It was 30 years between Derby wins or Triple Crown wins. And I initially was like, how the hell does he not know that? How does he not know that Seattle Slew won a triple? That was a horse. That was a horse that won the triple. How's that possible? And then I thought to myself, sports has changed a lot. When I was a kid, and Bake, you're a little younger than me. Reese, you're a generation younger than me. When I was a kid, I could have told you who won the Indianapolis 500 every year. I could have told you who won the Daytona 500 every year. I could have told you who won the Kentucky Derby every year. I could have told you who the heavyweight champion of the world was. I probably could have told you who the middleweight champion of the world was. I don't know any of those things. None. Even right now. Without Googling, I can't tell you who won the Kentucky Derby last year. That's blasphemous for me. I watch it every year. I've been to it. We'll talk about that in a second. This was a tradition in our house. Like, this was the one thing that Dad and I would watch together, was the Kentucky Derby. I don't know who won the Kentucky Derby last year. I've been to the Daytona 500 6 times. I can't tell you who won the Daytona 500. I think Jordan's team won it, but I couldn't tell you the driver. I couldn't tell you who won the Indianapolis 500 last year. I sure as hell can't tell you who the heavyweight champion of the world is. I don't even know who's the best boxer on the planet. Is it Jake Paul? I have no idea who the best boxer on the planet is. No clue. The sports that we care about over the last 25 years has changed. And there's probably a billion factors for it, right? It's probably, attention to detail. We have so many things pulling at us. Our phones, we're constantly trying to be entertained. We got 1,000 streamers. We got all of these things. But But I do not know these things the way that I used to. And I do this for a living. We talk about them, and I don't think I'm alone in this. I don't know, unless it's something that's in your niche and it's something that you care about specifically. And now our niche has become just kind of like our own little sports silo. I don't think folks know this stuff the way that they used to. I know I sure as heck don't. So in the end, I'm like, I got to cut the kids some slack. I didn't know some of this stuff either.
Yeah, I wonder on Monday if anybody's really going to talk about the Derby. And when I say anybody, I mean anybody. Sports shows, regular talk shows, like does Good Morning America or does the CBS morning show? Do they lead with the trumpets and then such and such Renegade or Albus runs to the roses?
So let's test ourselves here, Bo. Let's have Reese look this up. I think I know some of these. I know the Daytona 500 winner just recently was Tyler Reddick.
Michael Jordan.
I know that for a fact.
I don't even know who Tyler Reddick is. I've never heard of that name.
Only know it because he's Jordan's guy.
He's won like 5 races this year.
Guys, I used to cover NASCAR. For 6 years, I went to Daytona twice a year. I've been to Talladega. I used to cover NASCAR. I used to cover Speed Weeks for 2 weeks.
When did Dale Sr. pass?
I was there.
Right.
Yeah, 2001.
It's been a minute.
Sorry, 2000.
So 2000. I don't remember, Bo, the name.
No, it was February of 2001. It was February 2001. And then I was there when Dale Jr. won the first race back at Daytona that July.
I don't remember the name of the horse last year that won the Kentucky Derby, but I remember he was 80-1. It was the greatest odds ever.
The long shot.
Yeah, he was 80-1, the winner of the Kentucky Derby last year. I believe.
Indy? Who won Indy? Do you know that?
I want to say it's Alex Palou, but I'm not positive on that. That's my guess, is Alex Palou.
No idea. I always root for Graham Rahal, but I
believe that's just the Tim May coming out. I only know that because of Tim May.
I could tell you who's leading F1 because NBC was talking to me about Kimi Antonelli today all the way to school, so I could tell you who's leading that.
I never even heard that name before.
Yeah. Are they on Apple this year? Or this
I don't know where he's. Knowing him, he's probably consuming it via
on the Xbox
socials. Oh, yeah. You got heavyweight champion of the world?
Well, there's like 12 of them, I believe. But I believe Alexander Usyk is one of the heavyweight champions.
You're a better man than I, Bake, if all those things are right. And I can't even fact check you.
I know that Tyson Fury's coming out of retirement to fight Anthony Joshua here soon.
Those guys got to be 40.
Pretty close,
don't they?
To it.
They have to be.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's 37.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean, we've heard of those names for 15 years.
So how close are we here, Reese? Have you looked?
Well, I think you might be okay.
So,
you said
you
it all
got,
pretty emphatically.
Palou for the 500.
There we go.
Job.
It was Sovereignty that won the 2025 Kentucky Derby.
And he was 80-1. Is that right?
The
odds there, yeah, it's pretty good.
The biggest long shot of all time.
It's a good job out of you, Beck. Steel trap on the niche sports.
It's all degenerates. Gambling.
It's all
That's
gambling.
all it is. It's all degenerates.
Do they run again? No, he's not running this year.
Oh, no. The Kentucky Derby's only 3-year-olds.
Yeah, so
it's only 3-year-olds. You have one shot at it.
You win, they take you off to reproduce.
Well, in the old days, you used to try to go for the Triple Crown, but now more and more, when you win the Derby, it's like, yeah, let's shut this down. And now we can sell him to a syndicate in Japan or the Middle East and crush it. I mean, that's kind of the way that it's all changed. They're even talking about spreading out the 3 races, one a month, like really spreading them out. So it's Kentucky Derby, 2 weeks Preakness, 3 weeks Belmont. They're saying that even that's too strenuous now for horses. Even horses have gotten soft. Horses need extra
management.
Rest. Load management for horses. What's changed?
Horses. I don't know.
Money ruins it all, Bo. If you weren't getting $5 million to stud this guy.
Well, because Bob Baffert can't juice him up anymore now that he's under a 10x microscope.
No more Winstraw.
Yeah. That's a shame. Just juice all the horses. That's what we need.
Here's the funny thing about
is going to come in here and smack you on the wrist.
I said horses, not dogs. A different animal.
He loves them all.
It's all animals. It's all animals. The funny thing about what we're talking about right here is tomorrow they're running the Kentucky Derby, and it will do a great number. It will get a massive number. It gets a massive number every single year. There's a curiosity to it that hits. There is something about it that people want to watch. It is one of those things that every year folks watch it. It is one of the best one-off sporting events. I've had the opportunity to go to it. I've had the opportunity to go to a lot of the ones that people would consider like bucket list one-off sporting events. it's a very interesting experience. But for television, they do a heck of a job on the production of it. And it's one of the things we're going to get to coming up next. We're off and running on a Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Sausage, egg, cheese, made from scratch buttermilk biscuit. Hungry? Canadian bacon, egg, cheese, fresh baked croissant. How about now? Bacon, sausage, Canadian bacon, cinnamon swirl French toast. There it is. Grab a hot UDF breakfast sandwich made in store on fresh baked biscuits and croissants from our bakery. And right now, buy any breakfast sandwich and get the second one for just $1. Only at UDF. Mornings made for you.
Disasters strike, fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. Direct Relief delivers. No politics, no red tape. Direct Relief is a lifeline to people in crisis. So check them out at directrelief.org. And if you can, donate.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Tel-Ohio Credit Union. Visit Telhio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Telhio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities. Doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you'd want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
A message from Tia Mori, actress and Fair Celebrity Ambassador.
Game day isn't staged. It's lived. It's the shopping, the cooking, the laughter. For families managing food allergy, preparation means everything. It's knowing the signs, having a plan, and carrying epinephrine everywhere life takes you. Because readiness doesn't take away the risk. It brings back the joy. When you're ready to act, you're ready to live.
Visit foodallergy.org/ready to act to learn more.
Join the Fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Who's Vice President J.D. Vance's pick for Ohio Treasurer? America First conservative Jay Edwards. As the first state lawmaker to endorse Donald Trump for president, Jay Edwards has been on the front lines, standing up to the rhinos and leftists since day one. Now, we need a MAGA fighter who protects our Ohio tax dollars as our treasurer. And that's what Jay Edwards has always done. He sponsored the largest tax cut in Ohio history, saving families over $3.1 billion. Jay Edwards has never been afraid to do what's right and fight for our values. That's why he's a 100% pro-life and 100% pro-gun conservative, earning the highest possible rating from Ohio gun owners. He's the proven America First leader we need to clean up fraud and keep our money safe. Endorsed by J.D. Vance. Jay Edwards for Ohio Treasurer.
Paid for by Friends of Jay Edwards.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Otherwise, expected to be mostly cloudy and cool with highs in the mid to upper 50s and breezy winds. We'll turn partly cloudy tonight with lows in the 30s, and a frosty start is possible for Saturday, then turning mostly sunny with highs in the mid 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do something we've all thought about at one point. It's time to upgrade your road trip. And the good news is the good folks at RCD RV are having their open house sale starting tomorrow. It runs through May 9th. You can shop 850 plus RVs, all from trusted brands, because, of course, it's RCD RV. They're the best. Plus, they'll have free maintenance seminars, financing incentives, and more. And when you buy any in-stock camper, they're giving you $1,000 RCD gift card right for you. You buy a motorhome, that's $1,500 an RCD gift card. There are no limits in the RV life. It's just you, the family, the open road, and the freedom to go anywhere you want. No crowds, no renting a car, no airports. Look at Three's grievances yesterday with the airports and the getting on the plane. You got none of that. Get to RCD RV's open house. Starts tomorrow through the 9th. Start planning your adventure today. You could go to one-off sporting event that you have not been to. What would it be?
I'd probably go to the Derby. You'd have to guarantee me, and you obviously couldn't do this, that it wouldn't rain, because I'm not interested in a mud pit.
I think it's the Kentucky Derby. The Daytona 500 would be a very, very close second for me.
I would tell you that the Pepsi 4, it used to be the Pepsi 400. I don't even know what it is. Originally, it was the Firecracker 400.
Yeah, it was in July, and now it's like August.
The July 4th Daytona race so it's not on July 4th anymore. The Daytona race isn't.
No, it's been moved back in the year.
Oh, that's stupid. That was the best. That was the best race and the most fun you could have in NASCAR was that one. The Daytona 500, it's really speed weeks. Like you're there from, I would always, when I would go to cover it, I would go for like 10 days. Like I would be down there for speed weeks and then qualifying the week before, then all the testing leading up to the 500 on that Sunday. But by the time you get to the Daytona 500, it's always a middle of the afternoon start on Sunday. And it just has the Pepsi, it used to be the Firecracker 400, whatever the hell it is now. That thing was awesome. Like it was like a vacation. And it was a party because it was at night. And Daytona at night's incredible.
Bo, I believe, maybe I haven't told you this. So, we go down to Daytona every year. And it was usually like the weekend after the race. Like it's usually right after July 4th. Like there's July 4th weekend.
In the summer.
And then we get in town the weekend after. Well, one year, because of scheduling, we had to go down the week of July 4th. And Daytona, July 4th is awesome because there's fireworks all over the beach. Like it's your own fireworks show everywhere. But we were eating at one of the restaurants on the pier. Richard Petty came in and was sitting like 3 tables away from us. And it was just a scene. Like everybody was looking, but nobody wanted to go up to him. Like it was just a scene.
That you get that there. That's incredible. But I mean, and he's the nicest guy ever. He was always the nicest guy ever in that. Honestly, both the Earnhardts were too. Didn't get a chance to talk to Senior. That obviously he passed the very first one I covered. But Junior was awesome. He was always very, very good. Jimmy Johnson was always a really, really good dude. Really solid dude. Tony Stewart not particularly likable. Kind of a jerk, a little bit of a jerk. On the thing about the Kentucky Derby, it's interesting you both say that. So I took my dad and mom. This would have been Animal Kingdom 1. I would say this was like May of 11, something like that. I did it as a gift for my dad. My wife and I took my parents, and we did like Lexington and did kind of horse country and all that, a little bit of bourbon, and then went over to the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. And I paid an exorbitant amount for box seats. And what box seats meant at the Kentucky Derby was you were on a folding chair in a 2x4 box underneath an overhang, and you really couldn't see anything. And I want to say I spent $1,000 a seat for this box. And I thought, well, this will at least we'll be undercover in case it rains. And it did rain, and we were undercover. What I would say is that the Kentucky Derby is a no middle class event. And I know you say, well, $1,000 a ticket, how's that middle class? Well, that's middle class at the Derby. So I think you either do, if you're just infield, you probably have the time of your life. You just go to the infield and you have the time of your life, have cocktails, bet on horses, watching on screens. You're not really seeing anything because you have no idea how big that track is until you actually get there. And then the other would be like the Millionaire's Row folks, like the people who are way up. Then you can really see things. And then you have the amenities and all of that. But the Kentucky Derby is incredibly accessible. Now, I've heard a lot of people, and Brother Bone talks about this all the time, say the Indianapolis 500 is unbelievable as a one-off. I've never been over there for it. Never. We never covered it at Channel 10. And it was always Memorial Day weekend, so maybe that was why, or we were going into the Memorial Tournament. I don't know what it was, but we never covered it. And it is one that I think I'd like to get to at some point as a one-off.
I think that would be good. I have never been for the race. I have been for practices and time trials, and that was pretty fun. It was obviously it's not as packed as the 500 is, but you had a lot of access, and it was pretty cool. The one thing I would say is I bet it is hard getting in and out of around there.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, just the practice rounds, like there was some pretty crazy and heavy traffic. But the Indianapolis 500, I think, would be pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I think that it's not really. I guess would we consider the Masters a one-off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is, but it's 4 days of a one-off.
Because it's. Yeah. I mean,
it's not like you're just there for one day and then gone.
I guess it'd be like what horse racing is, because you go from one circuit to the next. The Masters, you go from one tour to you're not just playing the Masters every weekend. So if we're counting the Preakness, if we're counting Pimlico, if we're counting the Derby, yeah, I would.
Well, by the way, the 80-1 horse was Rich Strike 2 years ago. Sovereignty last year was a 7-1, and one of the more favored horses. Rich Strike was the replacement 2 years ago that ended up winning with the highest odds.
I forgot Indy or F1's in Miami this weekend.
F1's Miami this weekend?
Yeah, with like the fake parking lot marina.
So that's the one they build it around the Dolphin Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Like they build the track around the Dolphin Stadium.
Monaco would be the F1 race.
Yeah, right? Yeah. The one thing about all of this stuff is that, and this is just the real truth, there's an experience of going in the party that goes with it. But if you're actually interested in watching the event, it sucks. It really sucks. I don't even know, like, if you could get high enough. I suppose there's maybe some so Daytona's changed since the last time I was there. I know they got rid of the back grandstands. They used to have back grandstands all the way along the back stretch. I think they got rid of all of that. But I wonder if there is a spot now where you can get high enough in Daytona where you can actually see the whole track. I always had to watch it from the infield, and so because that's where media was, and so you would just see them zip by, and then you'd watch on a screen.
I think it's probably pretty close. Maybe because, I know there's spots in Indy where you can maybe not quite see the whole track, but you can see most of it. And I think that's kind of how Daytona is. You may lose them for a minute, or second, but they're right back.
You have to get so high. I mean, it's 2.5 miles around the thing.
Yeah, and those,
you got to get really high to be able to see across all of that.
And I know those grandstands are pretty high now that they've kind of redone stuff there and whatnot. Because I know where we stay over right on the ocean, we can see the grandstands from the front of our spot. So
yes, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. The Derby's crazy too because there's an aspirational feel to it. There is something about the seersuckers and the pastels and all of that. And that's the other thing that I think is crazy about the Derby is you mentioned like Richard Petty. Like there's places you'll walk into around Lexington or around Louisville on Derby week and you would run into Bob Baffert. You would run into D. Wayne Lucas. You'd run into those legendary trainers having breakfast in the morning. And one of the coolest things you can ever do, I did this at Keeneland. We didn't do it in Lexington. One of the coolest things you can ever do is like go have breakfast and then go watch the horses warm up in the morning. Like 7 o'clock in the morning, because that's when or even earlier, really. That's when they get out there and work out, and that part's really, really cool. The Derby, you have the ultra wealthy, and then you have the infield. And again, both of those seem like the most fun you could ever have. The one things we're not thinking about in all of this is like any sort of tennis events like Wimbledon and any of those type of things, as those are kind of one-offs. If you could go to like a Wimbledon final.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to a tennis event, a pro tennis event in person.
I have not either. Scotty Vegas goes to the tournament down in Mason every year, and he loves it. Loves it. Says it's the best time in the world.
My mom used to go to the U.S. Open at Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
Every year. And shit, it was fun, but because she got free tickets.
Yeah.
So that makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
Free tickets, booze is expensive, so you're paying for that.
This from Matt and social. The 24-hour Le Mans is the correct answer for bucket list one-off. You may be right. I mean, I'm sure South of France is lovely, but you can't possibly see any of that race. Can you? I mean, other than when they run right in front of you, 'cause it's all road course.
Yeah. Can you stay up for the all 24 hours?
No. Probably not. So we got F1 this weekend. We got the Kentucky Derby this weekend. So both of those things will be available to you along with all the NHL and NBA. Ross Bjork hooked up with the folks at the Lantern on myriad topics, everything from jersey patches to rounding up and all of the things that have to be done in what I think is one of the toughest jobs in all of sports at the moment. You'll hear from him on that coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a Friday in May. Ross Bjork speaking with the Lantern. I think right now, athletic director at Big State U is among the trickier jobs in sports. Now, he's compensated very well. He's got a very nice life. Anybody in that position is going to be both of those things. But it's pretty challenging. It was a pretty straightforward job for a long time. Hire coaches, build buildings, fundraise in some order. Probably fundraising first. Now, build buildings, improve buildings. Yeah, big projects that need to be done around here. And we're talking about the shoe in the biggest possible way. Got to do that. Hire, fire coaches, yeah, still pretty important. Fundraising, complicated, very complicated, because you are, in a sense, competing with yourself when it comes to where is this money coming from. And if you are a big money booster, or if you are somebody who donates what you can Netflix style, where do you want your money to go? Do you want it to go to Ohio State? And do you want to have your name on a brick, or potentially, if you're big money boosters, your name on a building? Or do you want to give money to a collective and help fund a football roster or a basketball roster or a non-revenue sport roster? It's all about what your why is and what you're interested in doing. And the job of the athletic director is kind of suss through all that stuff. And so it's never been more complicated. And all the while, you have to be able to find money. And one of the things that they did at the spring game to find money was if you bought a concession, they gave you the opportunity to round up. And then the round up would go to the collectives. Ross was asked about that. This is courtesy of the Lantern on this idea of rounding up at the stadium.
You know, I frequent Nutter Ace Hardware in Upper Arlington. And when I check out there, I can round up to Children's Miracle Network. Yeah. So this concept is not new. Shout out to our friends at Nutter Ace Hardware. You know, the concept is not new of sort of rounding up. But again, in this era, people, they want to invest. They want to invest in our players. They want to, you know, give directly, you know, to our athletes. And now we have avenues. So, you know, that money that's raised and generated, and this was kind of the first time we did it, and obviously we'll do it, you know, going into the football season. That money will just go into our Champs Fund and the Buckeye Club. That offsets, you know, any sort of revenue sharing that we're going to provide to the athlete. It's not a one-on-one NIL deal that an individual fan is going to do with an athlete by rounding up, but hopefully they see, you know, value in helping the cause. Hopefully they see value in driving more and more revenue to the bottom line of our athletic department.
I like Ross a lot. And I just laid it out. I think it's a really hard job. Rounding up at Nutter Ace Hardware for the Children's Miracle Network is a much different cause than rounding up for pay for play in college athletics. And this is the bed we all made. And so we got to sleep in it. And I think it's really smart to do something like that if you are him, because he has to find money anywhere he can. But all of this is just band-aiding a hemorrhage, is all any of this is. And that's why I think his job is so complicated. I mean, just think about how he just described that there.
The function is right. The phrasing is not. Yeah, you'd love to use literally almost any other instance with you just have to, you don't have to compare it to anything. You just say, look, we're trying to get money any way we can. If he was just honest, because we all kind of understand, right? You don't need to compare it to anything. Ohio State needs money. Ohio State will constantly need money. And so the roundup is an effort. It's an option. Mm-hmm. You don't have to round up for the NIL. I get people think it's gross that they're asking for it, but I understand completely, because the job is to look under every single couch. Every single cushion gets everything gets turned over for this. And again, you can hit that button that says no.
You can.
The
but there is a
Miracle Network is like, ugh.
Yeah, when you're in those lines, though, whether it's at Nutter Ace Hardware or whether it's at your local grocery store and it comes to round up, it's usually for a cause like that. And then you're like, well, yes, of course. Of course I'll do that. I mean, that's no problem. This is something where they are already profiting on the beverage that you bought at the shoe tremendously on the markup there. And now on top of that, this goes to this. And so this whole thing is just so far long gone. It's not his fault. Like, this is the world that he's got to live in, is this world with found money. And you have to find it under anywhere you can to create revenue. Also, the other thing that's crazy about this is all these folks talk about how, they want true NIL. Well, what you're describing here is truly just pay for play. I mean, that's just professional sports is all that is.
I feel like I don't even want to comment on this till we've played all of this audio, because I'm so fired up about all this. And like you said, Bo, this isn't Ross Bjork's fault.
No.
But just hearing him speak this morning and cutting this audio up, I was enraged.
Yeah, listening to it this morning, I figured you would feel a certain way about this. And you're trying to massage this as best as possible to your fan base, because the asks are going to continue to grow for them. And a guilt trip, which is kind of the avenue here that we're about to hear, I don't know if that's the best path.
We generate a lot of revenue for Ohio State athletics, but we also spend essentially every penny. And so the more that we generate, the more that we can invest back. So whether it's Saddle Up, which was a great event with Darius Rucker and so many fans and donors, bought tables and auction items. again, it's difference-making money, difference-making opportunity, and what we want under the mantra where everyone's a Buckeye. We want all fans to feel like they can do their part, whether it's 50 cents because they round it up, or whether it's $50,000 at a Saddle Up event, or $5 million, right, to give to a facility project or an endowment. Those are the kind of things we want people to sink their teeth into, is that everyone's a Buckeye, and let's try to capitalize on maybe this new era and these new conversations that we can have.
I used to say this 10 years ago, anytime, and at the time Gene was the athletic director, and I used to say, you're not running a good business because of you don't need 36 sports. You don't need to arbitrarily pay certain coaches 7 figures. You don't need to do that. There's no demand to do that. You're choosing to do that. You're choosing to spend all of the money that you make because theoretically you're a nonprofit. But you don't need to. You're choosing to. At any point, Ohio State could say, well, we don't need 36 sports. We need 18. What would that get you back? Right? Now, all they would do if they cut the 18 sports is they would just pay the coaches and the administration and all the people more. I don't know that they would reinvest that in anything else. I don't know that they would still be asking for this money. Then the other thing that's going to come here, and this goes back to found money, and again, this is not his fault. This is just the circumstances of the sport at the moment and of college athletics at the moment. And again, this is all courtesy of the Lantern, conversation that Ross had with them. Here he is on jersey patches coming.
The NCAA did approve, they govern the uniform, construct, if you will, where logos can go and how many logos. So they did approve where you can have up to 2 sponsor logos in addition to our Nike. I'm wearing the OSU golf course, zip up here. So it's not a Nike branded, but we can have Nike, we can have the Ohio State logo, and we can have up to 2 additional sponsor logos. So we're active in the marketplace. We don't have anything announced yet. We don't have anything across the finish line. We're working with various, companies right now to try to land something that would be meaningful financially, but also be tastefully done. We want to make sure it's integrated. But those are, again, new opportunities, that are in the field right now that we have to capitalize on. Again, some people may not like it, but they also expect us to win.
Well, he just said it at the end there. I don't envy him. I think the spot he's in is pretty tricky, and look, he's being compensated well, so perhaps you can have envy for that. But just in terms of the idea of what he's trying to do here, in answer to all of these different masters, all while fundraising and all of the things that goes into this, it puts you in a position where you have to say the things that he's saying right here. Beck, go ahead.
And again, this isn't Ross Bjork or Ohio State's fault necessarily. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of what I talked about yesterday when I was like, when is there going to come a point that they tick the fans off and the fans go away? And I don't know if that's coming or not. But he talks about the rounding up. Mm-hmm. And he says to offset the revenue share. So because we had to pay the players, we need you to take care of that now, fans.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. If I want to buy an Ohio State shirt, you're looking at minimum $30.
Yeah.
You want to buy an Ohio State hat, $30.
Oh,
you want to buy tickets to the shoe, it's over $100. Like, how much more? You're paying $50 to park. Like, how much more are you going to put on the fans with this? It's pretty damn ridiculous. And then he talks about, well, we're all Buckeyes here. Everybody's doing their part. 50 cents. 50,000, 5 million. If I donate 50 cents, are you going to treat me like someone that donated 5 million? Are we all Buckeyes or not?
No, we're not.
Are you going to treat me as much as the guy that donated 50K? Like, get the hell out of here with that. Miss me with that stuff, quite frankly. And then at the end, well, I mean, your expectation is for us to win. You got to do this. Like, the jersey patches, the NCAA will let us have 2. And I'm not saying let's look like a NASCAR pit crew, but you sell whatever you can. If there's a helmet sticker you can get on there, you sneak it in there. If you can get 3 or 4 patches on there, you get it in there. If you can put advertisements on the field, you do it, quite frankly. And guess what? Sell the naming rights to the shoe. And I know that's going to piss some people off.
They'll get over it.
But you sell the naming rights. You do everything you can before you pass the buck on to the fan. And I'll tell you what, me personally, and thankfully, we're in a position where we don't have to pay ticket prices if we don't want to. We can go to the game on a media pass and whatnot, and we are truly blessed to be able to do that. I'm not donating to any NIL stuff. And I understand there's some cool experiences like Saddle Up. People got experiences that they'll never get.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. It's not my responsibility.
No, and that's the fine line that they're walking, because everything you just laid out of people being turned off by all of this is the part. You don't have to go anymore. You can watch on a massive screen TV in the comfort of your home, and you can watch it all there. You don't have to do it. And that is something that I think that they have to be very careful. It's a very fine line, and I do think you're right on that. And the thing that's so hard for average Joe Buckeye fan is, hold on a second, everything you just said, T-shirts, hats, parking, all of this stuff, that's not enough? And we're knee-deep in the muck on it, so we're used to this conversation a lot. But a lot of people have no idea what NIL even is. They have no idea what revenue share even is. They don't understand it. They think NIL is what the university is paying the players. That's what they think. They don't realize it's all donations. That's what NIL is. It's all pay for play, all masquerading, because we don't just want to call it what it is, which is professional sports. Just have a damn salary cap and pay them and run it like a business. Then it's solved. But we can't do that. So instead, we're in this spot where you have awkward conversations like the one Ross had with the Lantern. It's a really good job out of the reporter on this with the Lantern. They tackled a lot of stuff that, and by the way, Ross has to do these things. He has to continue to talk about these things because he has to continue to rally the base. That's what it is. It's political is what it is. He's rallying his base because he needs the money. We'll continue with this. Take a look at potentially a massive loss last night that could have a little bit of reverberation throughout the sport. That's coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, it's AR here from my longtime friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. If you need service but don't have time to plan it out, Germain Honda of Dublin makes it easy. During the Honda Spring event, you can take advantage of same-day service, no appointment necessary. Just pull in, and their team will take care of you. Fast, convenient, and done right the first time. They've been taking care of me and my Ridgeline for years. Keep your Honda running at its best with Germain Honda of Dublin and at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Whether you're refreshing flower beds or finishing up that weekend project, Ohio Mulch, they have everything you need to make it look like a pro did it.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Here's a look at what's going on around the ballpark with your Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are back in town this weekend to face the Detroit Tigers, followed by 3 games with the Colorado Rockies beginning on Tuesday. The big weekend at Great American Ballpark includes the 2026 Hall of Fame class induction ceremony, honoring Brandon Phillips, Aaron Harang, Reggie Sanders, and Lou Piniella. During the Rockies series, fans will be able to take advantage of our next Budweiser 3-2-1 Tuesday with $3 select 12-ounce beers, $2 hot dogs, and $1 ice cream cups available. Tuesday, April 28th is also our next family discount day, as well as another senior day. And the series finale on Thursday will be our next business day special. There are special ticket packages available for those dates. Visit Reds.com to learn more. That's a look at what's going on around the ballpark with your Cincinnati Reds.
Mornings on the Fan have never been larger. T-Bone is large. Tybus is getting large. Get large with them. T-Bone and Tybus.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
Your home for large people and larger personalities. The Fan.
I'm fixing to tell you something that the insurance industry does not want you to ever hear. Bullies often delay and deny. I see them sitting on premiums paid and making money and dragging it out for as long as they can. Many times, we're forced to take them to court. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Their high-paid lobbyists are on a mission to make sure that at trial, jurors are not allowed to learn that the at-fault party has insurance, and in some cases, lots of it. I can think of no case in all my years where there was no insurance for the at-fault party. So let's fight back. It's all these bullies understand. Tell everybody you know the truth. If you've been injured in a car crash or hurt at a store or business, visit forthepeople.com. We're here 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie, and once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
I think the thing that's so frustrating about all of this, and I'm sure it's frustrating to Ross and everybody at Ohio State, is none of what I use the term Band-Aid on a hemorrhage a lot. It's all of this is just kicking a can down a road. There isn't, at any point, no one's building a new road. So this is all just, what can we do to get by for right now? None of them want to handle the real solution. None of them want to tackle the real problems. Nobody wants to be transformative when it comes to college athletics. They all just want to keep it as close to what it was as they can while taking the burden financially off of the institution and putting it onto you, the fan. And that happens at every school. And sometimes you have a place like Texas Tech where they got Cody Campbell. He's willing to write checks for $50 million a year for a roster. That's great. You got the guy at Miami who's willing to do it. And they're cool with it. But for how long are they cool with it? And then when they're done being cool with it, they'll find another solution. They'll deal with that problem then. This is if this was like can you imagine if college athletics were like your financial advisor and they had no long-term plan and they're like day traders. How do we get by today? Trying to make more money tomorrow. Like there's no long-term solution to any of this crap. None of it. That's the part that's frustrating.
And it's made worse that the rules, or I guess the parameters, maybe, I don't know exactly the right phrasing with that, but everything keeps changing. So what you're going to ask this year is going to be less than what you're going to ask next year. Yeah. And who you're going to be spending the money on is going to change, and how much money. I mean, because the revenue share is going to go up, so all of that's going to drive prices up. I don't know. Does the government
solution
come in and say, hey, we got to really set a cap on this? Can you do a legal cap?
Reese, don't you think it's going to have to come from within?
Yeah.
It's going to have to come from...
Coaches have to make these decisions on how they want to operate their sports.
Coaches, athletic directors, and presidents. Yeah. In turn, university boards of trustees at the powerful places are going to have to say, okay, we have to have something that makes sense for long-term future of the sport. Nobody's got the stones to do that right now. There's no real true leadership in the sport. Nobody wants to give up the golden goose, but we're there now. We're long past there.
The other thing that makes this a bitter pill to swallow, I think, for the majority is, and again, I'm not picking on Ohio State and Ross Bjork here because this is a college sports issue. So I'm not picking on them. They're just trying to do the best they can in a tough situation. But you're hearing this from millionaires who aren't giving up a thing. In fact, they're making more. And you've got Johnny Paycheck out here paying $5 to fill up $5 a gallon to fill up his tank right now. And the housing market's as crazy as it has ever been. And you've got these millionaires telling us, well, we need more from you. Yeah. Actually, you don't.
The coaches getting raises
really
are also pretty bad.
Yeah. Put your money into the NIL.
Right. You know, with Kurt Signetti's extension, with the money that are paid to the top guys in the sport, it's like, are you doing anything to help?
Are you donating $2 million to the NIL of your salary? Wasn't Norvell that did that?
I was
going to
say we've heard of some coaches doing that, but
But
I also look to some universities and see like the money given to presidents and executives and go, is that did you earn that?
Yeah. I mean, agents have run college athletics for a long time. You know, Jimmy Sexton's gotten everybody a raise who didn't deserve one in the SEC for 20 years.
Yeah, LSU paying 5 different buyouts on top of what they're paying for Lane.
Right. Yeah, that's the part that's off-putting. There's a lot that is, but that's the part that I think is really tough for Joe Buckeye fan to hear, Joe LSU Tiger fan, whatever. All right, last night. So I walked through the living room. My wife has the basketball on, Knicks and Hawks, and she's just staring at the television. And I'm sure she was zoned out because this is what my children do. And the score was something to the effect of 76-22.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks were beating the Hawks by 50 in the first half of this game. 50. It was 40-15 after one. Then they put another 43 burger on them. It was 83-36 at half. This nonsense.
Woof.
Brutal.
And it's only the 6th highest margin of victory in the NBA playoffs in history.
Crazy.
It's the most ever scored by the Knicks, but only
it was game 6.
Yeah.
And it was in Atlanta, was it not?
It sure was.
In Atlanta. How can you imagine if you paid your money to go watch that nonsense?
No, I'd demand a refund.
Meantime, McDavid's out.
Oh boy.
Bake, we were talking beforehand. Well, let's hear from him. Here is Connor McDavid if they were eliminated last night by the Anaheim Ducks.
That was tough. We were an average team all year. An average team with high expectations, you're going to be disappointed. We just never found it.
I'll tell you what's hard for me is the idea that the Ducks are now in the conference semis. Like they were picking one spot ahead of us 2 years ago.
If you're an Edmonton Oilers fan right now, you don't love hearing that. And I don't think you love that whole press conference from Connor McDavid because he was short, he was succinct, he was not happy. And Edmonton, we talked about it when he signed that 2-year extension.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go win now. If you want to keep him, you've got to get one. And I don't know how much longer Connor McDavid is going to be wearing an Edmonton Oilers 97 jersey. And you talk about the Anaheim Ducks, and I know he's a polarizing figure, and a lot of people don't like him.
Yeah.
Joe Quenneville's a hell of a hockey coach, and coaching matters.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah, the McDavid thing's fascinating because if he wants to be, and I think he does, and he has the talent to be, like in that all-time great conversation, you got to win a cup. Everybody who's an all-time great has won a cup. Most of them have won multiple. He's got to win a cup. And it's a little bit of a LeBron thing. Like if he doesn't win one in Edmonton, and it's different. Basketball, it's different. I get it. But like they've had at bats 2 years in a row. They got to the Cup Finals to a Game 7 and weren't able to get it done. And now the clock is definitely ticking. Second hour of the program coming up next. The prominent SEC coach with some thoughts on the Big Ten's power victory over the Southeastern Conference. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Alan Parsons Live Project. Celebrating 50 years of the debut album. Tales of mystery and imagination. Saturday, July 25th, 8 p.m., Columbus Commons. An unforgettable night with the Alan Parsons Live Project. On sale now at picnicwiththepops.com. The 50th anniversary of Tales of Mystery and Imagination. Live. Presented by Nationwide Picnic with the Pops.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Some choose the fast way, others the easy way. But you do things the right way, like Exmark Mowers and Boss Brothers Power Equipment. Exmark builds the world's finest zero-turn mowers, providing a legendary quality of cut, dependability, along with an experience that makes mowing feel like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Stop by one of Boss Brothers' 3 convenient locations in Powell, Sunbury, or Marysville and discover the Exmark mower that will give your lawn the cut it deserves. Boss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Get your day started with T-Bone and Tybus weekday mornings from 6 to 9 here on The Fan. You think that a radio lifer and a national title winner wouldn't have much in common, but you'd be wrong. They're both girthy, they both love football, and they both get racially profiled for completely different reasons. It's like driving to work with your friends, except these friends give away tickets to things and talk to all the important people in town. Your actual friends are probably a bunch of losers. Well, anyway, listen to T-Bone and Tybus live on The Fan app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
No way. Gas prices shot up again.
I know, but I got us covered.
So generous. What's your deal?
What's my deal? I went to Metro and saved. Got 4 lines for just $25 each and 4 free new Samsung Galaxy A17 5G phones and all on the T-Mobile network.
How about we go to Metro today?
Get that more for your money feeling. Visit your Metro by T-Mobile store. Just bring your numbers. Net available if you've been with Metro or T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
This spring, celebrate the sparkle that she brings to your life with something that sparkles right back. Whether it's for Mother's Day, an anniversary, or just because, Diamond Cellar has the perfect gift for the women who mean the world to you. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Selma Road and at Easton Town Center.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The Cincinnati Reds are off to their best start in 20 years. Redlegs won their 5th straight series yesterday, beating the Rockies 6-4 in Ohio's Queen City. They currently lead the Cubs by 1 game for the top spot in the NL Central. Redlegs head to Pittsburgh for a weekend series against the Pirates that starts tonight at 6:45. The Guardians are in Sacramento Friday to begin a weekend series with the Athletics. Cleveland 16-16 overall and tied with Detroit atop the AL Central. In the minors, the Mud Hens beat the Clippers 8-3 last night at Huntington Park. Both teams are back at it tonight at 6:15. In the NBA, the Cavaliers can advance to the Eastern Conference semis with a win over the Raptors in Toronto. Tip-off for Game 7 is 7:30. Amazon Prime's the place to watch. All of the NBA action on Friday is on Amazon. That includes Game 6 between the Pistons and Magic and the Lakers and the Rockets. This update is sponsored by Green & Sons. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville in Raymond, or online at greenandsons.com.
Bo could quit today and become the school drop-off line coordinator. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Reese's Bake and I were talking in the break about, all of these sports that are happening right now, paying attention to it. You watched a couple episodes of The Sopranos last night. It's taken you a while to get through it, but now you're into season 2. And Reese, as you know,
so jealous.
Me too.
Wait, where is he? Where are you right now?
So I'm curious if you say what I said. So he's 5 episodes in season 2.
I'm at episode 5, season 2 right now.
What does season 2 mean to you, Reese? Do you remember it well enough?
Not well enough. No. Are they cold? Someone's
easy.
very cold.
Richie Aprile is now in the mix.
Okay.
So it jumps up a notch with Richie Aprile.
He's an instigator, it seems.
Oh, he's the
Poor
best.
Beansy.
Yeah.
He's so good. So good. Yeah, those are pretty strong.
He's like a character that you want to. Never mind.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's such a great adversary for Tony.
No, you want to see him get whacked.
It's such a good show. It's so good.
So we had the that comeback there with you being the school drop-off line coordinator, and you said it was a day today.
Yeah, well, a little bit of mist in the air, so little Timmy and little Susie can't do the extra steps. So we had several folks who just dropped off at front door. So now 6 people can get left off instead of 16 people. So this was a bad day. So the boys were like, NBC's like, I'm not getting out here, because it was like all the way back. And I'm like, well, dude, you're getting out, because I'm not going to wait for all of this and then pull all the way around. So I'm sorry your walk's going to be a little bit further. We're raising men here. It's still 48 degrees. It's a little misty, but it's fine. So yeah, that was the morning. Yesterday it was clean. Today, not. It's not even a 20% hit rate on people doing the right thing. As soon as the waivers go in, they immediately stop. Like, I don't even know how you could look yourself in the mirror if you see the waivers go by and then you stop right in front of the door as they're walking by. Like, these are the principals of the school, for God's sakes. They're watching you let your kid out at the door versus allowing for the maximum people to be let out. Like, how do you then go about your day? I mean, I couldn't do it. Like, we live in a society. I'll tell you what, this golf outing down in the South was pretty valuable. It turns out every SEC coach plays in this thing in Birmingham. No wonder Paul went down there. They all play in it. They're all available. Kirby talked to anybody who he'd want to talk to. This was from where was this from, guys? What was the source on this? Was it a radio show in Birmingham he was on? I'm looking for my phone here to tell you what it was.
The next round, I believe, is the radio show's title. I'm not sure the station.
And I don't even know if they were on the radio. They might have just been there interviewing.
So, all right. So they do a show. Oh, they're just like us. They go 9 to noon, except Central. You're home for SEC. The next round is the name of it. So they were at this event and they had Kirby on. We talked with a little bit yesterday in terms of with Paul, because Paul was at this event as well. One of the hosts asked Kirby Smart how the Big Ten has gotten better. But the interesting thing to the setup to this was, he said his theory was that in the old days, Alabama wouldn't tell on Auburn, Florida wouldn't tell on Georgia, but if Ohio State or Michigan came in and tried to get one of your players, then we would stop that. But we weren't going to tell each other on paying players under the table. Kirby completely blows past that theory, and he did give this answer to the question on how the Big Ten has gotten so competitive.
I just think they have a more competitive conference, like the top of their conference, there's more good teams. It used to be, Ohio State was good.
Yeah.
Like Michigan was really good. When Harbaugh had a great team, Indiana's good. Like now they got Oregon. They got a draw. They have the ability to attract good players. Now, NIL has a factor too, for sure. But so does Miami. I mean, so does Florida. I mean, people have money. More people have money.
That's right.
So I think the talent is spread out thin. Where before in the SEC, it was a magnet to talent.
That's
the
right.
disparity was so great that it was like you couldn't mess it up. You'd win regardless. And now it's like, okay, it's more even, and it's just been 3 in a row.
He admitted the last part, I think, is among the more interesting things he said there. When he said that line about you can't mess it up because so much of the talent used to just be staying down there. And it's not anymore. Everything that they used to do, the host point of everything that they used to do under the table is now above board, and there's more money up here. Yeah, there's some outliers. There's the Texas Techs. There's the Miamis. SMU is a team I think you ought to watch a lot. Get to them in a second in terms of what they've just even done in the last week. But yeah, there is more money to be spread around, and what they used to do under the table is now above board here. It's pretty straightforward. He does come back with this, though, claiming that the SEC bottom is tougher than the Big Tens.
Now, the other theory is, and this is one nobody likes to hear, is it's a lot of SEC coaches say this in my meetings. They say they don't have the grind we do. There's no way. They play 3 of their 9 games are hard. Their bottom 4 games are not our bottom 4 games. I'm going to play Starkville and Vanderbilt's in my bottom 4, and I'm holding on to my butt.
Yeah.
To be able to play at noon on Saturday at Starkville and playing a good team who beat Arizona State, who goes and plays these other teams. So there is a theory that we're beating each other up, and it's like the intensity, and it wears you down.
I think there's some truth to that. And I think Ohio State is in the perfect spot to benefit from all of this because, and this has always been my argument of why I prefer them to continue to play the Texases, continue to play the Alabamas, because the bottom of this league is really bad. Rutgers is bad. Purdue is bad. Minnesota is fine. There's usually 3 or 4 teams at the bottom of this league that aren't much better than MAC teams, quite honestly. The bottom of that league, and the NFL draft would bear this out, is still is slightly better. Basically, their middle is bigger and better. Our top is now better over the last 3 years with NIL and free transfer and everything else. But our bottom is also a little bit worse. I can live with that statement.
I don't know, Bo. Purdue had the number 1 overall pick in the CFL draft earlier this week.
Drew Brees?
No, it was lineman Giordano Vaccaro, who's a Canadian himself.
Oh, there you go.
Wasn't Diego Pavia?
Was not. Did he get a Ravens invite?
He did.
Yeah, he signed 3-year contract. Yeah.
So, Bo, real quick, just to make that comparison, this was the bottom 5 teams in the Big Ten this year. Purdue, 0-9 in the conference, 2-10 overall. Maryland, 1-8, 4-8. Michigan State, 1-8, 4-8. Wisconsin, 2-7, 4-8, and Rutgers, 2-7, 5-7. Here's the bottom in the SEC.
Okay.
Arkansas, 0-8, 2-10. South Carolina, 1-7, 4-8. Mississippi State, 1-7, 5-8. Auburn, 1-7, 5-7. And then Florida and Kentucky were tied 2-6 in the conference. Florida was 4-8. Kentucky was 5-7.
Yeah, I think that holds up, his statement. Now their conference is smaller. They don't have the dead weight. I mean, they have what, 16 teams?
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten went 11-5 in bowl games. The SEC 4-10. And I know the argument can be made, well, the SEC didn't really try, but I mean, that's
bowl games at this point now. I have no use for unless you're in the playoff.
That includes the playoff, like postseason records.
Postseason record, yeah. If you could, that would be the one to extrapolate. Would be the playoff, and I think that would prove his original point that the Big Ten at the top is better, which is what he acknowledges. That the top of the Big Ten is better.
Didn't Paul call him the dean of SEC coaches yesterday?
I think he probably is now.
Yeah. No, he is.
Yeah.
It's a weird place to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 2 national championships. He won them back-to-back. They have the best program in the SEC and have had the best program in the SEC for a decade or so now since he got there. I think he probably is that. The only way that you could, I guess what you would have to do is you'd have to take those 5. I have not done the research on this. I'll try to do it in the break as quick as I can. Maybe we split it up. I'll take the SEC teams, total players drafted from those bottom 5. You guys take the Big Ten. I don't know. Is that the surest way of saying who has more, which teams are better? Talent? Is that closest thing we can get.
That's
to
the
like
closest thing I would say is.
Yeah.
that.
So I have not done the research on this, but I would be shocked if Arkansas, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Auburn, and Florida didn't have more draft picks than Purdue, Maryland, Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Rutgers. Like,
So
if you're betting on those, wouldn't you bet that?
Yeah,
you
I'm
bet the SEC teams, right?
I'm looking right now. I don't think Purdue had a single draft pick in the NFL.
Well, here, you guys do the Big 12. I'll take a look at those 5 SEC teams. So I'll look at Arkansas, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Auburn, and Florida. You guys look at Purdue, Maryland, Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Rutgers. Is that the surest way? I don't know. Here's what we do know. For the first time since 2015, the Big Ten had more players drafted in the first round than the SEC. That we do know. And so the high end, the top end of this sport and in this conference is superior now from a talent standpoint and from an on-the-field standpoint, because you got national championships in 3 consecutive years, and the SEC hasn't even played in one. So at the top, it has flipped. Indiana, he brought up Indiana. Is there another Indiana out there in another conference that could flip this thing in a hurry? Does the SEC even have an Indiana? We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome to the Ohio Lottery's Made from Scratch show. Today, I'm sharing how you can make dough from scratch. We're adding a dash of fun and a sprinkle of luck. Now, let's get cooking and see what we've got. And voila! A fresh batch of Ohio Lottery $5 scratch-offs. Nice.
Play Aces and Eights with over $20 million in cash prizes and a top prize of $150,000. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Tel-Ohio Credit Union. Visit telhio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Tel-Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number 1, I use it. Number 2, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Human trafficking has happened.
It's possible to raise awareness and end this crime.
As governor, Vivek will lock up human traffickers, protect our children, and deliver justice. Let's end this evil for good with Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Otherwise, expect it to be mostly cloudy and cool with highs in the mid to upper 50s and breezy winds. We'll turn partly cloudy tonight with lows in the 30s, and a frosty start is possible for Saturday, then turning mostly sunny with highs in the mid 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and we are proudly brought to you and sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. Graduations, Mom's Day next weekend, fellas. Now is the time. It's always the time to go to Diamond Cellar. Check them out. Tell them Bo sent you. 2 locations, Easton and Sawmill, to take care of you. All right, what did you guys end up with? Big Ten. The bottom 5. Purdue,
5?
Maryland, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Rutgers. What was your number?
4.
Total 4?
Yeah, if you want to throw Wisconsin in there as well. Wisconsin had 0, Purdue had 0, Michigan State 2, Rutgers 1, Maryland 1.
Okay, so the SEC bottom feeders was 21.
Yeah.
So that's Kirby's point. And I think you can't argue opposite of that their bottom is better. Our top's better. Their middle might be a little bit better. We continue to do this show in Columbus, Ohio. Jimmy Crack-Corn, and I don't care what the bottom of the Big Ten is. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. In fact, just from a Ohio State perspective, if you can take the travel nonsense aside and adding 4 West Coast teams, you just take that out of it and don't consider the travel and the stress that comes with all of that, the Big Ten is perfect for a powerhouse. It's everything you'd want. You get 2 or 3 hammer games, and then you get like 4 just show up games. We just did this last week with this year's Ohio State schedule. We did it last year with the schedule. It was actually set up perfectly. Massive game to start. At the time, we thought Penn State, end of October was going to be a banger. Turned out being a competitive game, but obviously, you just assumed that would be. Penn State was a top 5 team. And then Michigan. So you kind of had 3 kind of games at different stages. And in between, it was a bunch of just show up and that's good enough in a lot of instances. And that, because of the talent at the bottom, you can't quite do that in the Southeastern Conference. And I think that's probably why those coaches had such a problem with them going to 9 games. It's probably why some of them were turning on Sankey. Probably why they're saying, well, hold on. You want to have 16 teams. I want 24 because I want to get in. And I'm going to have 3 losses because I got to play the bottom 5 of my league that had 21 players drafted versus the bottom 5 of their league, which had 4. That's just talent. Now, back to your point, they must be terribly coached teams.
That's the biggest thing.
Poorly run down there.
Like, they must be because, like, Florida having 7 players drafted is crazy for as bad as they were. And that doesn't even count Legway, who was the number 1 quarterback in the country.
Is it
who's now at Baylor?
SEC coaches, or SEC jobs that changed, 4, 5 SEC jobs that changed hands in the offseason?
LSU, Auburn, Florida.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
We missing Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Did Arkansas change hands again? I think so. Because Go Hogs is gone, isn't he?
That's a shame.
Yeah. You saw his house with the hogs on it?
Yeah.
The Lake of the
Hog
Ozarks?
statue.
Come on.
Like some cold Coors Lights.
Do you think he throws that in the lake now?
No, I think he's Arkansas through and through. I think he's like Coach O with LSU.
Probably
fire me twice, doesn't matter.
Crushing Coors Lights and riding that thing.
Getting out there. One of the things Kirby mentioned was Indiana. And Indiana is really one of the greatest stories in the history of college athletics, quite honestly, what Cignetti has done there. 2 years, immediately changes it, brings his guys with him, And away they go, ignites an alumni base, gets a super booster in Mark Cuban who says, okay, I got a coach now. Let's go, right? Is there another Indiana looming in the Big Ten? Is there another Big Ten program, not saying that they could win a national title, but is there another Big Ten program that could elevate? Is there another one? Kentucky, new coach at Kentucky, too, Will Stein. They got him. He probably should have waited. Could have got a better job. What is the most likely Big Ten program to elevate, similar to the place that Indiana did kind of out of nowhere? And then around the sport, there are others. Like the ACC has Miami. I'll tell you what else the ACC has. The ACC, for now, has SMU. I don't know if you saw this story in the last 30 minutes. And this would I'm just going to read this straight. For Billy Embody, we've had Billy on. SMU is hiring one of the top recruiting staffers in the country, USC Director of Recruiting, Zaire Turner. So the director
USC.
The director of recruiting from USC is going to SMU.
Oh, he did his job at USC. They got
She
got like 37 people to sign their letters of intent for the Trojans, and now you move on.
But like she's choosing to go to SMU.
Well, money's probably better.
Now, she's a Dallas native, so maybe that's a part of it. But yes, the money is probably better. And USC probably wasn't able to keep her.
Wow.
I'm still
Big 12 as Texas Tech.
So, sorry.
I was just going to say, I maintain that that's the only banner Lincoln Riley's hanging at USC, is that recruiting championship. Because they're the team you would think could pull the next Indiana, get motivated, get organized, sign a bunch of recruits, pick the proper portal persons instead of lose the proper portal persons, and make a run. But
do they have, here's what I don't know about USC. Like, do they have someone who's like, yes, it's really important that we're great at football?
No, it's probably Michigan State next that would have the money if they were motivated. But it feels like the two mortgage guys, they want basketball.
But they got 3 billionaires there.
Yeah.
That's the one that I thought of was Michigan State.
I think Michigan State, especially, they've gotten Pat Fitzgerald, who is a guy that's won before, a proven coach, won in the Big Ten. I think Michigan State's one. I think you might have said Maryland at one point, but I don't think the Under Armour guy has as much money as he used to now.
He doesn't. No, he tried.
The other one I was thinking of, Bo, is UCLA. Could Chesney go out there and flip things with them? Now, I don't know if they have the resources money-wise for NIL, but I wonder about UCLA with a new coach, if he's the right guy, could get them back to a little bit of prominence.
I don't know their booster situation. Like, is there a booster at UCLA that's like, it's really important to me that we're great at football? Because their athletic department's in shambles. Total mess. Remember, they were trying to play at SoFi. They don't even have a home stadium. They play in the Rose Bowl. It's a long ways between the UCLA campus and Pasadena. The SEC has one of these, and we've already seen it. It's Vanderbilt. Yep. That's the one. Vanderbilt's there, Indiana. Vanderbilt has among the hottest zip codes in America that they can sell. People are flocking to Nashville in as big a way as can be. They have so many wealthy boosters that if they want to engage, they can.
What about Jera?
For the longest time, they didn't. I'll get to them in a second, Reese. For the longest time, they didn't because it wasn't important to them to muddy the waters in recruiting to be great. Well, now it is. Think about this. The number one quarterback in this year's class, or number two, depending on what you look at, 5-star kid, a Georgia native, or no, he's a Nashville native, committed to Georgia and then flipped to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's got the funds to match anybody. It's a good point on you on Arkansas. Think about what Arkansas has at its disposal. Theoretically, it would have Walmart money. It has Tyson Chicken money. We know that because that's how Cal's there. And they got Jera. Now, Jera's probably most interested in the Dallas Cowboys. But you want to talk about billions to spend. Go pull up Forbes' wealthiest folks in America and count how many Waltons are on that list.
In Arkansas, I thought of too. And listen, Indiana never got it right either. But the only reason I can't get on board with Arkansas is I feel like there's a bunch of times over history they've tried. Mm-hmm. Hey, we got this coach. It's going to happen. They never get it right. They've had Darren McFadden and Felix Jones, and this is the team that's going to do it. They had Ryan Mallett, and they just never get it right. They can never get it all the way there.
I've never been there, but I have to assume it's a tougher place to recruit to.
I know it's hot as hell there. Sheesh.
I would imagine, I would imagine that, and it might probably be a lot further away from everywhere else than I realize.
I remember we were driving to Texas to do a job. So we had been in the car for 10 hours, I think, till you hit hit Arkansas.
Yeah.
We've been driving in the car, windows up, air conditioner on full blast. We crossed into Arkansas. You crossed over the state line. You could feel the heat come through the windows. Good gosh.
Just seep in. There are a few of them out there. Michigan State is going to be the fastest one in the Big Ten. If Michigan State, because you got three people who are motivated, if they're willing to throw some money around, Pat Fitz can put a big time program on the map in a hurry. Then you got to coach them, and that's the other part of it. Tim May in 2 minutes, Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
Bacon, sausage, egg, cheese, made from scratch biscuits, fresh baked croissants, cinnamon swirl French toast. Hungry? Grab a hot UDF breakfast sandwich made in store for your morning. UDF, mornings made for you.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off of closing costs. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Home should be a comfortable place, but sometimes it's filled with rooms that are too hot, too cold, high energy bills, noise, and polluted air. You deserve better because you care about home comfort, and that's why Logan Services will care for you. We're fast with same-day estimates and next-day installation. We're friendly, listening to you, offering a system for every home and every budget. Get comfortable by choosing Logan AC and Heat Services.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, efforting Tim May. We've had contact with Tim May. We just can't get him on the phone at the moment. So that's probably... Is that a Tim May problem?
Of the people we have on this show, he would be the one that would say today's a fine day to golf.
49?
Uh-huh.
It's playable. Yeah. Yeah, this time of year. Are you golfing? I think we have him. Do we have Tim? Are you golfing today?
No, I'm about to go record my podcast. My buddy Dylan Davis and I played Golf Club of Dublin yesterday.
How'd it go? Was it good drainage?
This myth about hitting fairways. I hit 11 out of 14 fairways yesterday fairly well, and still had a horrendous round because you know what? After you hit the fairway, you know what you have to do next?
That second
hit the
shot.
Green.
Yeah.
Second shot.
And those are big greens. How the heck are you missing all those greens?
Well, no, that's one of the reasons I like playing Golf Club of Dublin. I mean, the price is pretty over the top, but when you get a bargain, you play. But you, The reason I like it is because the landing area is like playing at Port Columbus, on the runways, So that helps the fairways in regulation, but the greens in regulation, you still got to hit the ball straight from where you are there, and it just never have, with a few exceptions, when Moose and I were playing, and I broke 80 2 times in 3 weeks, and also had my hole-in-one a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm now reflecting on that, like Live Golf is reflecting on whatever as the zenith, you know what I mean, the apex of my game, because I'm just you putting all 3 phases together, or my term is more like 13 phases together when it should be just 3. Has been the bane of my existence when it comes to playing golf, but I do love playing the game. So
it's fun, man. Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, you think those live guys? We'll do college football. Do you think those live guys should have to pay their way back on the PGA Tour? John Rahm got $300 million.
I don't know how you handle it, because some of them weren't on the. We're talking about all the live guys. Some of them weren't on the PGA Tour in the first place. But number 2, I would say some of them took the money and ran, because it'd be like somebody starting up a big talk show radio station in Canada, and even though it'd be Canadian dollars, inviting you to come up, and be their bellwether, right? I mean, their bell cow. You'd probably take it, and then all of a sudden, what we've always seen, through life is when somebody makes you a line item veto victim, you're done. I mean, that they now have their hand out, looking for people to replace what was been a $5 billion infusion of cash.
Crazy.
Those sponsors, those backers, they're not just waiting around the corner. Man, I hope somebody drops Live so I can get involved. Who is saying that right now? You saw where they canceled the New Orleans tournament and cited reasons that would have been obvious to them, 5 years ago. And number 2, their reasons are sort of like them saying the sun is hot.
Tim, why would it's a failure of an intelligence test that you would schedule a tournament in New Orleans in June?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Why would they do that? How stupid can you be?
But to use that as your excuse for now canceling, one of the excuses for canceling it is even stupider. I mean, nobody's buying that. I mean, this thing's on its last legs in terms of live golf as we have known it. And by the way, I have never watched an entire live golf tournament. I've watched a couple of rounds maybe over the last couple of years, but I told you I got to go to the one before the Super Bowl a couple of years ago in Vegas. It was played at the Las Vegas Country Club. I enjoyed being there, but everything seemed gimmicky. We're going to be different. We're going to be 3 rounds. We're going to play music on this one hole. And by the way, from that one hole, you could look up and see the penthouse where Elvis Presley lived all those years at the formerly the Intercontinental or whatever it was, and the Las Vegas Hilton. Now it's the Westgate. So that it had that going for it for me from a mystique standpoint. But I'm not even sure if Live Golf even made the Sphere. You know what I mean? When it came to, But the bottom line is, it wasn't a gimmick. I mean, it was just somebody wanting to rush in and take the equity that someone else had built, which was the PGA Tour especially, and steal it or buy it. And we talked about that 5 years ago, if you remember. I mean, nobody in the long run is going to go for this. And number 2, they talk about how they changed golf, where they're back. They're at 4-round tournaments now, not 3. That was one of the things they changed. And but nobody really, in the final analysis, as Piff has found out, nobody gives a damn about Live Golf except the guys getting paid a lot of money to play on it.
No, in the end, in the final analysis, with Tiger Woods not being he was kind of the only one that drives golf. Everything else, the PGA Tour is the star. It's not the players. Yeah, there's a couple of guys who move the needle a little bit, but even DeChambeau, as popular as he is with my kids, that didn't cause them to go watch Live. They would just watch his YouTube stuff. Like they're not watching Live stuff. So you're just all you're doing is the PGA Tour won out because what actually turns out being what people were interested in was the tour.
Exactly, the tour and the competition. The competition is real. It's real. It's not made up on the PGA Tour. And maybe one of the fortunate things is what Liv did do is it loosened some purse strings. I mean, these signature events, they weren't around,
for sure.
right?
Absolutely.
I mean, things like that. So, some people, just like the NFL and AFL merger, it ended up being just the NFL, but there were a lot of things that changed because of the American Football League back when I was growing up. Joe Namath signing his contract with the Jets, in the end zone or wherever after the Orange Bowl when they got beat by Texas way back in, 1965 Orange Bowl, 64 season. I mean, the AFL shook things up by paying people more money, just like the USFL did, with not Trump and stuff, but they did pay Herschel Walker a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And so they kind of made it, we can be a threat if everybody can hang on to their cash for a while, but everybody still wants to be part of something else. I mean, Liv, I think, thought it had it going on when it thought it was going to create this merger with the PGA, and it really, you remember all the hints like a year and a half, 2 years ago, but in the final analysis, it didn't happen. And and now all these guys are scrambling. They made a lot of money, but all these guys are scrambling. There, Tyrrell Hatton's a guy I like to watch play because he's so volcanic in some respects. I mean, there's a bunch of guys over there I like to watch play, but some of them, to be honest with you, I've hardly even heard of. So it is what it is, as the old saying goes.
We used to earlier in the program, we were talking about one-off sporting events, and I was talking about the Kentucky Derby and been to the Daytona 500 a bunch, been to the Kentucky Derby. I've not been to Indy. You go every year, and you've gone to cover it every year. From a fan perspective as a one-off, and I know you've never probably done that, but even though you're a fan of the sport, what makes Indy something that folks ought to go to if they haven't?
Well, number one, we're talking about the Indy 500, not the month of May, right?
That's right. The Indianapolis 500, the race day.
Although Friday before race day, is pretty tremendous with the final practice, and you never really know what's going to happen in terms of somebody may pile their car up that they got to race in 48 hours. So you never know, if that happens if you're a race fan. But then on top of that, it's nonstop entertainment on Friday before race day, including a ridiculously huge concert. And then Saturday they have the big parade over there and all that kind of stuff, and that's kind of cool. But the pre-race ceremonies for the Indy 500 on race day, after they roll the cars out on the pit road, and people, the people with the proper paths, they get to walk through them and stuff. But then they start going down, God Bless America, the national anthem, and then back home in Indiana. And all the troops that march in that they honor because it is Memorial Day, and they honor the past. The playing of taps is making a hair on the back of my neck stand up right now thinking about that. But then the start of that race, when they start up 33 cars and they come by three times on formation, warm-up lap, formation, parade lap, and then formation lap, and then they let them go. It's like a Kentucky Derby with all the horses kind of running around, and then all of a sudden they wave the green flag, and all the horses charge toward turn one. And dude, I'm telling you, a buddy of mine, Bruce Martin, and I, we've sat in different places in that place to watch the start of the race because at different times. I was sitting in about 17, 18 rows up, and right at the start of turn one on the outside several years ago, and I remember telling drivers later, you would not race in this race if you sat where I sat and watched you guys go into turn one at 200 plus miles an hour, jockeying for position. You would go, that's not safe. You know what I mean? It is stunning how fast those cars go. So that's finally the product. And then, in the last 15 years, we've seen some tremendous finishes in that race. And, you got to be in the right place right now, but they got enough huge screens over there now where everybody is involved. And turn three has turned out to be the hot corner of people making passes on the final lap or whatever, the final couple of laps to make it happen. So it's just the thought that there's 280, 300,000 people all there at the same time, and the fact you can now watch it better than you could 20 years ago because of the screens and stuff. It's you got to see it once. You got to see the start once just to believe it.
I always said that, too, about Daytona, too. It's the start of the race, and then the last 10 laps are unbelievable.
And by the way, Kentucky Derby, I got to cover that a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool, but that's a long day.
It is.
That's a long day to watch 2 minutes.
Tim, I think a lot of people think that the Kentucky Derby is just one race, and the Kentucky Derby is actually like the 9th or 10th race on the card, and there's 2 more after it. There's 2 more races after it. Like they're while on television you're getting like the Kentucky Derby and we're putting the roses and all of that stuff. They're ready to run another race.
Hey, clear the track.
Right.
Hey, it's not going to. You think Piff is not going to get involved in college football and basketball? What do you think they're really going on there? You think Piff, the public?
Well, they're going to find a way to infiltrate one way or another, buddy. I think we know.
Hey, dude, when Mac schools, when Mac, and this isn't knocking the Mac, this is a compliment. When their games draw a bigger audience than you draw for your big-time international golf tournament, you got problems.
Yeah, they do. All right, enjoy your day, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Always a pleasure. You know that.
All right, there he goes. Tim May, the Tim May Show with Clay Hall on FanStream Sports, joining on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Get Eco.
ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year, or we'll clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO. Go to geteco.com.
At some point, you stopped calling it pain and started calling it just how I am now. Deep down, you know that's not okay. Get back to the normal you, the one who is active and carefree. Let's start with an introduction to Dr. Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments for joint pain in Dublin and Gahanna. I thought I would never be able to enjoy playing sports again because of how bad my knees felt from playing football. But then I went to go see Dr. Tesner and his team, and they gave me a couple of shots, and I was back to playing, back to balling, and doing all the things that I love. They're helping patients with pain from arthritis or injury in their knees, hips, and shoulders. The treatments are natural. Your body knows how to heal. QC Kinetics finally gives it the right tools. No operating rooms, no hardware, no watching summer come and go from a recliner. Get back to the version of you that doesn't map out a route based on where you can sit or avoid stairs. Right now is the right time, and the first step doesn't cost you a thing. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
This radio station is more than 100 years old. And during that time, absolutely no one has hosted more shows than The Common Man. I don't know why we're bragging about that, but I just read the copy, okay? And then there's Timmy. What can I say about good old Timmy? Well, he's a heck of a guy. All right, let's cut the bull. Common Man and Timmy host a show that'll make you laugh at immature things, overreact to whatever's going on in the world of sports, and probably embarrass themselves in the process. And we love them for it. Common Man and Timmy. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
When it comes to your roof, there's really one team to call. Newman Roofing. From the first call to the final nail, our team of professionals will be there every step of the way, answering any questions you have throughout the entire process. So give Newman Roofing a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, laundry, diapers, work, groceries. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone.
Sit tight, hon. I'll be right back.
But temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you. And every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop. If you want to upgrade your summer road trip, you got to see my friends at RCD RV. Their open house sale going on May 2nd through the 9th includes free maintenance seminars, financing incentives, accessory discounts, and more. Plus, shop over 850 RVs from all the top brands. Need more? Buy any in-stock camper and get a $1,000 RCD gift card. Or go motorhome and grab $1,500. The RCD RV open house sale, May 2nd through the 9th. Don't miss it. Visit rcdrv.com and start planning your adventure now.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Thursday, ESPN reported six-time Pro Bowl defensive end Calais Campbell is signing a one-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. 2026 is going to be his 19th season. Campbell's going to turn 40 on September 1st. He had a pretty successful run with Baltimore from 2020 to 2022, totaling 11 sacks and reaching the Pro Bowl in 2020. Campbell played in all 17 games for the Cardinals last season. He finished with 6.5 sacks. That's tied for most in a season since he had 10.5 in 2018 with the Jaguars. Thing or not a thing?
It's just a ridiculous thing. This is a 40-year-old man playing defensive end. It's just stupefying that he's still able to do so at a level like this. Absolutely nuts. And that he's healthy enough to do it and feels good enough to do it and will do the practices and the camp and all of it. Like, guys, it is such drudgery. It is such an incredible thing to sign up for no matter what the money is. And he doesn't need the money. To be able to do it at 40 years of age and play defensive end is impossible. It's nuts.
Yeah, I think it's a thing because I think he's someone that, Bo, even as you mentioned, at 40 years old, can still help the Ravens. Now, he may not be able to go out there and play every down like he used to, but he's a guy in the right situations that I think is somebody that's really going to help that football team, and especially if he can manage the whole year and stay healthy, that's a big-time boost in the playoffs. So I think this is a major thing for them.
Austin Karp of Sports Business Journal reports that Minneapolis, Minnesota is the clear favorite to host the 2028 NFL Draft. Minnesota submitted a bid back in March. The three-day process would center on the U.S. Bank Stadium. Other events would happen in St. Paul at the Mall of America and in the Viking Lakes development around the team's headquarters in Eagan. The league's events committee is due to meet next week regarding the 2028 draft. An ownership vote's expected at the next ownership meeting. That's May 19th and the 20th in Orlando. Vegas will have the 2027 NFL draft. Thing or not a thing?
Good. I mean, they will crush this. U.S. Bank Stadium is awesome. It's very easy to do it there and get a bunch of people in there to watch it, which would be very cool. Mall of America in the mix. More on that in a second. Viking Lakes, I'm sure that's great. But U.S. Bank is easy. Minneapolis is such an easy city. It's almost as crazy it is because it's among the colder big cities in the United States. It's so easy to get around in because everything in downtown is connected, and it's just really easy. The thing I was thinking about this when you said Mall of America, I wonder if it's like all the rest of the malls. Like, is it just empty? Does it still have stores?
Didn't they have a roller coaster?
Oh, it's an amusement park. Yeah, they got roller coasters. They got all sorts of stuff in it. But I just wondered, like, is it full of stores or is it starting to empty out like all the rest of the indoor malls?
I'm guessing because it was an attraction, it probably still has some stuff. Also, in Minnesota, I think in the winter, you got to have stuff to do inside, right? You're not doing a ton outside, but
we have winter here too, Bake, and all these malls are closing.
Yeah, but I don't think any of these malls had like an amusement park. You know, like some of the malls now, like up at Tuttle, they put that Scene 75 in there to try to attract people to get business in there. So I think this is a thing for Minnesota. I think they'll do a great job. I also think it's a thing. I saw Pro Football Talk, put this out earlier this morning. They believe, some believe Cincinnati has the inside track to host the 2029 draft.
Really?
That's what they put out there.
Huh.
From the Corrections Department, the draft next year is in the Mall of America in D.C. Or the National Mall, excuse me.
National Mall.
Different mall, so they may do back-to-back mall-based drafts. This from CBS Sports through Duke Basketball, who announced Thursday their team's going to play 3 non-conference games at neutral sites next season with a twist. Those games are going to be on Amazon Prime Video, where you can find the NBA playoffs tonight. It's the first time the streaming service is going to have college basketball. Amazon's going to carry 3 games. November 25th, Duke versus UConn in Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena. December 21st, Duke's taking on Michigan at Madison Square Garden. And February 20th, Duke versus Gonzaga in Detroit at the Pizza Palace. ESPN says, quote, the deal will include extensive NIL opportunities for Duke athletics and is part of a broader retail partnership expected to be announced at a later date, end quote. Thing or not a thing?
2 big things here. The first thing is a lesser thing, and that is I still don't understand why. Like, is the city of Detroit paying Duke and Gonzaga to play that game there? Who's paying for that? Who's making them play that game there? Is Madison Square Garden paying them to play it there? Vegas, okay, fine. Visit LasVegas.com pays that. Fine. That all makes sense. The other one I don't understand. Wouldn't it be smart for Ohio State to do this? To just create a game outside of, like, next time they do a home and away with Alabama, just say, yeah, this is outside the television footprint, and sell it to Amazon.
Gosh, we were on the same page, Bo.
Right?
Because I'm like, wait a second.
Why don't we do that?
How can Duke do this outside of their ACC TV agreements?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Ross, instead of asking the fans to round up, Big Ten, kick rocks. We're getting our own TV deal.
We are. That's what I think. I mean, that's...
Why wouldn't you if you're Ohio State? All of your games would get the highest bidder. Like, everybody would want Ohio State games.
Yeah.
Pound sand, Fox and CBS. And
we'll do our
you
own
want
thing.
us, you come deal with us directly.
Yeah.
Columbus Aviators are hosting the Houston Gamblers tonight at 8 p.m. Supposed to be Jim Tressel bobblehead night at Historic Crew Stadium, but those Jim Tressel bobbleheads have been delayed. They're held up in customs. So vouchers will be distributed at the gate for the first 5,000 fans for a later bobblehead redemption. Season ticket members are going to have 1 bobblehead reserved per account, and you'll receive direct communication with fulfillment details on, when, likely if, likely when the bobbleheads reach Columbus. Thing or not a thing?
I think the Aviators are doing about everything that they can from a PR standpoint, and I think it's just bad luck. Right? It just sucks. Like, this was something that they had that was kind of a layup, and now they got to handle this. You get your Tressel bobblehead. I'm not worried about that. They'll make it right on that thing if that was something that you were coveting in going to the game tonight. This will be the 3rd home game tonight. Kind of weather.
Not the greatest weather.
Yeah. This is really going to be tested. It's really going to be tested. I do wonder if in the long term, if this league would benefit shifting a little bit more to summer and starting a little later, and then like maybe wrapping up right as NFL camps start in early July. I don't know how long their schedule is, but maybe there's an opportunity there because we've had 3 games. Have we had great weather for either the first 2, Bake? You were at both, right?
So I was just at the first one. The first one, there was a little bit of rain. It seemed like most of it was kind of early on. Okay. A lot of it was pregame, and then there was some during the game. I was not there for the second one, so I'm not sure what the weather was like.
Yeah. They've just said it's just bad luck. It's tough weather-wise. Go ahead, Reese.
Just real quick, we had a good laugh at David Faraday a couple weeks ago, telling reporters and bloggers to kind of pound sand in terms of the Live Golf's demise. Well, in a story published Thursday by NationalClubGolfer.com, David Faraday says he was in the dark about Live Golf's demise. Thing or not a thing?
No, well, it's a thing because it's a lie, because he's then saying he doesn't read the Wall Street Journal, which I don't believe would be the case. So, yeah, I do believe he heard. Yeah.
David Faraday trying to save face. Real quick, Bo, back to that Jim Tressel bobblehead that's stuck in the Strait of Hormuz or wherever it is right now. Good job out of them Trestle in a red aviator sweater vest.
Oh, there you go. Good job out of them. Final hour of the week coming up next. Doug Lesmerises coming up at 11:30. We kick it off with what we learned. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Telehio Credit Union. Visit telehio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Telehio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Whether you're refreshing flower beds or finishing up that weekend project, Ohio Mulch, they have everything you need to make it look like a pro did it.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Whether you love or hate winter, I think we can all agree we need some spring color to brighten up our lives after this winter. For 86 years, spring color starts at Oakland Nursery. Blooming shrubs, fragrant lilacs, hydrangeas, azaleas, and rhododendrons. And don't forget Central Ohio's largest selection of beautiful roses with thousands to choose from. Hey, we've all earned it this year and are entitled to an explosion of vivacious spring color. If you haven't been to Oakland Nursery, you simply haven't been to a nursery.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
and I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
But treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. Heading into the weekend, both the Reds and Guardians sit on top of their respective divisions. Cincinnati's off to their best start in 20 years at 20-11. Redlegs play the Pirates tonight at 6:45. Cincinnati leads the Chicago Cubs by 1 game in the NL Central. As for the Guardians, Cleveland and Detroit share the AL Central lead at 16-16. Guardians are in Sacramento Friday to take on the Athletics at 9:40. Over at Huntington Park, the Clippers host the Toledo Mudhens tonight at 6:15. Columbus has lost the last 2 in the series. In the NBA Friday, the Cavs can advance to the Eastern Conference semis with a win in Game 6 of their first-round series against the Raptors. Tip-off from Toronto is 7:30. Game 7 is going to be Sunday in Cleveland if the Raptors win tonight. And the 152nd running of the Kentucky Derbies tomorrow at 6:57. Renegades, your betting favorite. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Friday edition of the program. Let's kick it off with what we learned this week, fellas.
We're not trying to do too much around here, but over the course of 5 days, you might have gleaned some stuff. Bishop and Friends present What We've Learned This Week.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Make a reservation today at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
I mean, this is cheating a little bit, but I just learned this in the last 5 minutes, that apparently waterways are lawless. Have you guys seen this video? There's a guy on what appears to be like a hover surfboard in Fort Lauderdale, about 25 feet in the air. And then a cable is connecting him to a jet ski that his golden retriever is riding on. And he's towing the golden retriever through Fort Lauderdale like the harbor. How is that?
I mean, that's just Florida man doing Florida man things.
First of all, amazing. Like, incredible. Like, I want to try that apparatus. I want to see how it works. But then second of all, like, isn't that like Coast Guard? Like, no, dude. You can't be pulling a golden retriever on a jet ski while you're levitating on some sort of out-of-water jet ski.
I worry about, like, waves and the dog falling off.
Well, dogs can swim, but he also does have a life jacket on the dog.
Oh, that's good. But
yeah,
there are creatures in the ocean, as Dom Taberry likes to tell us, that may see the golden retriever in the water and go after him.
Do you pull this up? Do you look at this?
Trying to find it.
Yeah. I think NBC has it. Yeah. Guy's doing this.
You said he's on like a hovercraft?
Yeah, it's like one of those. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's like it looks like he's 20 feet above the water, like jet propelled thing. And then he's towing a golden retriever on a jet ski.
It's a good boy, I'll tell you that much. Just chilling on the jet skis. The dog's having the time of his life.
I think. Well, my only counter to that is Buddy Garrity, also a golden retriever, is terrified of the water.
Oh, Odie loves it. But
really?
Odie's not a golden. Odie's just a regular lab. He's not going too fast. I'll post this at 971BFS. Just so everybody can get a glimpse of this, because this is quite funny.
I have seen some of these guys on these things before, like doing flips and all kinds of weird things in the water. Never seen them pulling a jet ski with a golden retriever.
Good boy.
I tried everything to get Buddy to go in the pool, because I'm like, this wouldn't you want? Like, it's in the name. You're a retriever. Like, let's play fetch, buddy. I'll throw a ball in there. You jump in there. You jump out. We get a little exercise. Let's live a little bit. I tried everything. I put him in when he was little with me, like holding him. He scratched, 6 layers of skin off my chest trying to get out of the pool. If I've tried to like bring him in gently, like walking him in, no dice.
At one point, I'm like, well, nature versus nurture lodge. Let's just throw him in. He's got webbed feet. Like, he can definitely swim. Let's see what happens there. That didn't take. I mean, I've tried everything. He will not go in it.
But when I was 12, I believe, maybe 13, we had some friends that had land up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went up there. There were people that had some dogs for sale. And I've always been a fan of chocolate labs. And this guy was like a lab mix. He had all kinds of things in him. But we got this little chocolate lab. This dude loved water so much. We had to buy him like a baby pool that he would lay in. And just down the, probably about half a mile down the, we lived right by railroad tracks. About half a mile down the railroad tracks, there was like a little creek. Dude would jump the fence and go down there and lay in the creek for hours.
That's all I want for Buddy. I'm like, dude, I think you'll like it. But it won't take. It will not take. Like, even if I'm in the pool and I'm like, if I even put my hands around him, he will put all of his weight on his back paws and just pull to not go in. Just terrified of it. I've heard that labs, though, are great. Like that this is kind of a retriever thing, that they're a little bit more cautious. I don't know.
I mean, this retriever in the video, it's at 971 BFS right now. Like, dogs will let you know when they're not having a good time.
Yeah.
This dog's just peacefully sitting there. And he's not,
Kinda
again,
chilling.
going terribly fast on this thing. Like, there's a clear no wake zone because there's so many houses and docks in the vicinity of it. Yeah, this dog looks to be having the time of his life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very, very solid. Other thing that we learned this week, and this has been kind of all week long, is we have the Big 12 Redbird Capital play where they're trying to find a little bit of money. We had Charlie Baker trying to get 5 years to play 5, as if that's going to try to hold up a little bit. The biggest thing in terms of like how we can test a championship, and Paul talked about this yesterday with us as he joins every single Thursday at 10:30, the SEC coach is coming around to the 24 team thing. Like, I guess I've been very critical of Tony Petitti about a lot of things, but it appears that him like just staying quiet and just being kind of steadfast on the 24, he may end up winning in this thing. And it's not for the right reasons, it's for the wrong. It's so that everybody can claim they're a playoff team. It has nothing to do with the quality of the player, deserving teams, or any of it. It's all just CYA to say, well, we were a playoff team too.
It's content and inventory.
Yeah.
For Tony, it's content and inventory. For Sankey, then it's for the coaches. I mean, Paul said it as much yesterday, where they're all trying to get into the playoff, and they don't really care how they do it.
No.
This allows the top 23 plus one, because the plus one, the group of 5 participation trophy. Oh, Notre Dame, I should say. Notre Dame might not be ranked, but as long as they win 10,
they'll be fine.
They're in.
Yeah.
When Tony Petitti first brought this up, I immediately wanted to puke.
Yeah.
Because you knew you knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just knew that eventually this was going to happen because it's more inventory and it's more content. And what does that mean? More money.
Do you know why they settled at 24, though?
Who said they're settling?
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, just go to 32, and that way everybody plays somebody. Like, how do they arbitrarily stop at 24?
Don't put that in the atmosphere.
What difference does it make?
I mean, almost aren't you just do it.
Just go a 64 team and start week 2.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm convinced the NCAA tournaments, they're just going to put everybody in it soon.
So that did happen this week officially. They went to 76?
Yeah.
This is what that's going to be. I'll choose to look at it this way, and eye of the beholder. The way I'm going to look at it is the NCAA tournament remains 64 teams. If you don't get into the Thursday, then I don't care about you.
It is more play-in. And I'm interested to see where they put the other Dayton. I guess where they put the first 4. Because the idea
Denver,
is West.
I swear it's Vegas. They're going to
might be Vegas. Yeah, Vegas would be easy in, easy out. It'd be fun for the folks who got to play there. I think it's interesting that Dayton got chosen, and Dayton crushes it every year. But like, there's an airport in Dayton, but it's not like massive airport. And they've had it for all these years. Yeah, I think it'll be Vegas, Salt Lake. The other options would be Salt Lake City, Denver. That time of the year, though, you're probably not. You know what? You're not going to want to deal with the weather issues in Denver or Salt Lake. So I think you're right, Bake. It's either going to be Vegas or Phoenix. It's going to be some place where weather is not going to potentially obstruct your travel.
You know, but what? Let's just not even have a regular season in college football anymore. Let's just have a playoff. Just a big playoff.
Yeah. It's funny how nobody, we're not so worried about remember for the longest time, the reason they didn't want to play off is because they couldn't have the college football players playing 16 games. They're not professionals. We can't do that. They got to have class.
They got class to go to.
No, we don't care about any of it. No, we don't care about any of it. Just get them in. Get as many games as you can. Play them all the way through December and January, just as long as you make sure that my checks still cash. That's kind of
Who was it recently? Oh, Steve Sarkisian. Will Muschamp.
Yeah.
Down here, we still go to class. We still go to school.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. You're watching, Baker's watching season 2 of The Sopranos. Is David Scatino in the mix yet?
I don't believe so. That one.
Sporting Goods?
No, we're not there yet.
Okay. Yeah. There's a cautionary tale on the Big 12. I saw a USC athletic director saying, we're not going to take... They apparently, with the Redbird Capital deal with the Big 12, that influx of cash that's coming, they're not going to have, quote, ownership of the media rights or whatever.
Right.
Weatherford Capital's part of it, too. And that's important because he's a former quarterback at Florida State. So that kind of is a bridge for the... I wonder if Florida State is considering the Big 12 as a landing spot then with that partnership. But the point I was going to make is the UCF athletic director was like, we're not going to take the loan from then. They get like a one-time... Big 12 as part of the deal. They get a one-time money given to them from these two private equity firms, and the UCF AD was like, we're not going to take that. Probably pretty smart. You start taking free money, you start to see how unfree it is in a hurry, and that's probably the way that's going to shake out. Big day for the Cleveland Browns up in Northeast Ohio yesterday. Groundbreaking on a new stadium that will be the best stadium on planet Globes. But will it get the eye of the prize, and that is the Super Bowl? Roger Goodell was up there. He weighed in on that. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
The savings are so good at Great Lakes. But have you seen our inventory? With over 1,000 new Hyundais to choose from, there's no need to settle at glakeshyundai.com. Find a new Palisade with the exact options you need, or a new Tucson in that color you have been seeing around town. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Hyundai Assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings and selection are so good.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Educators, healthcare workers, first responders, and military. The Columbus Aviators salute you with $10 tickets to any home game. Get yours at UFLaviators.com.
Hello, friends. There's a special place on your radio. A place where the beer flows like wine. A place where dogs frolic and random movie quotes invade your brain. That place is Rothman and Ice, voted the #1 midday show in America in 2024. We won't talk about what happened last year. It certainly has nothing to do with Cole producing the show. Do they talk Buckeyes? Of course they do. Do they chat with Hall of Famers on the regular? Yes. Will they obsess over their fantasy football teams to the point both of them need therapy? You betcha. Rothman and Ice, weekdays from noon to 3. Thank you, The Fan.
Some choose the fast way, others choose the easy way, but you do things the right way. That's why professionals and homeowners trust Voss Brothers Power Equipment, your source for Exmark mowers. Engineered to deliver the world's finest zero-turn mowers with a legendary quality of cut, durability that lasts for generations, and an experience that feels like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Visit Voss Brothers Power Equipment with locations in Powell, Sunbury, and Marysville, and find the Exmark mower built for you. Voss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome.
For using every means possible to raise awareness and end this crime.
As governor, Vivek will lock up human traffickers, protect our children, and deliver justice. Let's end this evil for good with Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Otherwise, expected to be mostly cloudy and cool with highs in the mid to upper 50s and breezy winds. We'll turn partly cloudy tonight with lows in the 30s, and a frosty start is possible for Saturday, then turning mostly sunny with highs in the mid 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Big day up in Northeast Ohio yesterday, and theoretically for the state of Ohio yesterday, groundbreaking on the new Browns Stadium, which will be in near Berea, near Brook Park, in Brook Park, near the airport up there in Northeast Ohio. Stone's throw from their facility in Berea. On hand, Governor DeWine, Roger Goodell, ownership, various luminaries at the various positions, put on a hell of a show. It really was very, very cool what they did. The stadium's going to be unbelievable. You've seen some of the social media stuff probably in the hours and day and in the last 12 hours or so. They are building, it's just the reality of it. It's going to be the greatest stadium on planet globes for a period of time. And then some technology will change and somebody will build something cooler. But when it opens, it'll be the best stadium on the planet. One of the things that we all talk about with this is, okay, this is great for the Cleveland Browns. It's great for Browns fans, but is it good for Ohio? And the pushback on that, obviously, with some of the state funding and some of those type of things, I certainly understand. But in terms of the minimum requirement, we talked about this yesterday, what are the things that the state of Ohio has to get in order to justify this being a win for the entire state? And we talked about a bunch of things. We talked about Final Fours. We talked about college football playoff games, college football national championship games. Heck, even yesterday we talked potentially a place for Ohio State to play if they ever renovate the shoe or when they renovate the shoe in a big way. Could you play a couple of games up there? We talked about the NFL draft, WrestleManias, Taylor Swift concerts, all of that type of things. But then the big thing was always the Super Bowl. And I've always said, look, they've housed a Super Bowl in Detroit. They have them in Indy. Why wouldn't they be able to have one in Cleveland? Roger Goodell threw a little water on that yesterday. Here he is on a Super Bowl in Northeast Ohio.
On the Super Bowl, listen, I have no doubt that this stadium is going to be Super Bowl quality. Zero doubt about that. I think the challenge now for this community, and hopefully this stadium and this development is going to be transformative, is how does the rest of the facilities in the community develop? Because we not just have 72,000 or 75,000 people coming to the Super Bowl, it's close to 200,000 people who come in. So airports, hotels, we have hotel needs of close to 50 and not 60,000. Some of the competitors, Los Angeles, some of those other markets are 100,000. So those are the things that we're going to have to develop along with these opportunities around the stadium. But you have the stage. Now we have to bring the facilities around it.
The only pushback I would say to that is I covered a Super Bowl in Jacksonville. Jacksonville does not have hotels like the ones that he just described. They don't. In fact, I stayed in Lake City, Florida, is where it was my media hotel to cover the Super Bowl in Jacksonville. Throw it in a map and the distance between Lake City and Jacksonville. So maybe in downtown Cleveland there aren't 50,000 hotel rooms, but in the surrounding areas, and by the way, you could extend all the way to Canton if you wanted to, there would be. And they've done that before. And from the airport perspective, they do have two airports up there. They do have the Cleveland airport and they have the Akron-Canton airport. So they have plenty of airports too.
It's interesting that you just mentioned Canton, because if you have a Super Bowl in Cleveland, aren't you going to incorporate the Pro Football Hall of Fame somehow?
You would think.
So that's very interesting. We talked earlier about Ohio State and college sports asking the fans for more. Man, doesn't this seem like the guy with the fishing pole and the dollar on the end that throws it out? And whoops, not yet, not so fast. Just pulling it right back. I feel like the fans get screwed in all of this. Hey, we're going to make you pay for this, but you're going to have to pay some more because we need more things around it.
I mean, Cleveland held the Republican National Convention. Like if, I just have
the lack of infrastructure completely for Cleveland. Like just absolutely nonsense.
No,
you had a Super Bowl in San Francisco. You had Super Bowls in Jacksonville. And it wasn't even in San Francisco because they don't play in San Francisco. They play in Santa
Clara.
I mean, San Francisco's got plenty of hotels, but even Detroit.
BS on Goodell's part.
Yeah, right? I mean, no, you're not going to have as many hotels at a high end as Los Angeles. Of course not. But there's plenty. I mean, I just don't believe that there's not plenty if you expand the area beyond the city of Cleveland. If you expand into Stark County, you go down to the Canton area, Akron area, that's all. I just pulled it up. Lake City to Jacksonville is 60 miles. That's how far it was. And the media hotel that I was at was in Lake City, Florida. That's where it was, 60 miles from Jacksonville. So the idea that they can't do that. Now, they also brought in cruise ships in Jacksonville. And by the way, that was a disaster. I will acknowledge the Jacksonville Super Bowl was a disaster. The game wasn't bad. It was the one where Terrell Owens played on a broken leg against the Patriots. But it was, so the game was fine, but the city was way too small. But Jacksonville's a relatively small town in comparison. And so I don't buy that they wouldn't have the infrastructure to be able to hold it. It does seem like they're going to get an NFL draft. Here's the commissioner on that.
But the draft was here in 2020 under really difficult circumstances as we were all battling. I guess it was 21 technically, but as we were battling through COVID and trying to get out of it, it was not the event that we expected. But this community came together and met those challenges, and we pulled the draft off here. But it wasn't, I think, the impact that was necessary. So Jimmy and I have talked about it a lot. I've talked about it with our committees. We look forward to coming back here with the draft soon, for sure. I think it's important.
So that was it was coming out, it was the 2021 draft was the one that they ended up doing there. If you could pick one thing non-Super Bowl to have in this state, what would it be?
Well, if you're going to do it up in Cleveland, the College Football National Championship.
I'm with you.
I think it's probably the College Football National Championship, but I got to tell you, WrestleMania is a close second for me. I'd love to have a WrestleMania in the Buckeye State.
Who's headlining it?
Well, at this rate, Brock Lesnar, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, whatever old guy they can get.
Is Macho still around? Like, who are you going to have? Yeah. So good.
I will say this, if we can get that, I need Tyvis Powell to walk out with Obafemi. That needs to happen. We need to make that happen if a WrestleMania comes. Tyvis doing the strut. Tyvis doing the strut with Oba down the ramp would be...
So I looked this up. This guy is incredible. He beat Brock Lesnar at the last WrestleMania. He's an SEC champion shot putter from Alabama.
Oh, really?
He was one of the WWE NIL guys that they got in as he was still in college.
He said, "You're a massive human. Come wrestle."
He's their next. He's like their star. They're grooming. But I need Tyvus and him doing the strut down the ramp.
Who potentially would be like a foil for? Is he a heel or a face?
He is a face at the moment.
Okay, so who's his adversary?
Probably their dream, if they ever get to that point, would be a guy named Gunther.
Oh, God, they're still trying to do that? I remember them trying to make him something like 3 years ago. They're still trying to make him something.
He's pretty good.
Is he?
Yeah. He's one of their best characters right now.
I know, but I don't know what that's saying. It feels like it's valedictorian of summer school.
Yeah.
Is this guy good on the mic? This Obafemi guy?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. I think we got spoiled. It's funny. This just popped up. I wasn't intending to talk about wrestling, but this just popped up on my my Facebook. Was 7 years ago today on Cleveland Browns Daily. Nathan and I had Stone Cold Steve Austin in studio. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good. And he was there he was doing some sort of reality show that he did and Baker was on it with him. So he came up there to be around Bake and to do the thing with Bake, and they get along famously, as you'd expect them to. But the more you think about it, did the era that followed, because maybe that was just impossible to follow, The Rock and Stone Cold at the same time? Those are the two best on a mic ever, and they were in there at the same time. Like, how were you ever going to follow that? No one was ever going to be as interesting as those two cats were.
So many of us grew up on that too. I think it's just so there's the recency bias with it, which that could be argued, but they were ultimate. Like, everybody's got those two on their Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at that time. Like at that point, I was out. I was the last time I watched it a little bit in college was the NWO stuff. That was the last time. My kids got into it a couple years ago, but they got into it. They asked me to watch WrestleMania, and I watched it with them, and it was great. But it was when The Rock was back.
That was pretty good, though.
It was.
When he's just swearing at everybody.
Yeah, they had no interest this year. They didn't ask me. They didn't tell me when it was. Can we watch? Nothing. But that year when The Rock was in it, then they were like, they were shocked that he cussed. They didn't know that The Rock would do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I think WrestleMania would be good for Cleveland, but I don't think it's it's close. After a Super Bowl is a must, and then it's the College Football National Championship. And I think if you could land a Final Four, that'd be pretty great.
Agree on those two. I think this.
Hell yeah!
I think it's the national championship game. And I think that's something that's very realistic and can absolutely be done. Doug Lesmerises in 2 minutes. We'll run this by him, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
Get Eco.
I'm Aaron Gaynor from Eco Plumbers, Electricians, and HVAC Technicians. We like to have fun on the radio, but apparently some people find it irritating.
Irritating? Are you talking about those letters we got from Matthew and Bonnie?
No, Jerry. That would single out Matthew and Bonnie to use their names on the radio like that.
But people actually take the time to write in and complain? What do they say?
Something like, "We hate that crazy guy in your ads."
Get Eco.
But you're not crazy, Aaron.
That's right, Jerry. I am not crazy.
You're just a normal guy trying to help people with their homes.
Exactly.
And if they don't like you helping homeowners with their problems, well, that's their problem.
Exactly.
I'm just glad they haven't said anything mean about me, Aaron.
Don't worry, Jerry. You be you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Jerry.
And thanks, Matthew.
And thanks, Bonnie.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and never irritating HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Friday at 11:30, we get smarter with our good buddy Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com. He joins on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. For this new Cleveland Brown, we were just talking about the new Brown Stadium that's going on up in Brook Park in Northeast Ohio and thinking about the possibilities from the Ohio State perspective on it. Just even if you take that aside, if it isn't a Super Bowl, what is the minimum requirement for you in order for that to be viewed as a state success?
College football national championship game, a Final Four, kind of in the rotation, like with Indy for having, major events, but especially I think as it relates to football that, what Indianapolis has with Lucas Oil Stadium is a great setup, but Ohio's the home of football, and I understand the discussion, and it's a valuable one around like who should be paying for this thing, and like, should the public be on the hook for anything like this? But it's always aggravated me that Detroit has a dome, and Indy has a dome, and Minneapolis has a dome, and like, why don't we have a dome in this state? Like, why don't we have stuff? Yeah. And so I think there is a great opportunity, but I don't know when it comes to college football. And the opportunity for it's not in Columbus, but it's in our state. I think it should be a hub. I think it should be a hub of activity, and I think college basketball too. So yeah, I think you can't build it and then have it just sit there and house Browns games. You've got to be aggressive.
No, agree. And I think one of the things that's always it's always fascinating to me. Like I was curious why Detroit hasn't had a bigger say. What is it that Indy does that they get these things all the time, that it's just known that the Big Ten championship game is in Indianapolis? Like, why doesn't it float around? How has it not been in Detroit? Yeah. Is Indy, I'm asking, and I don't even know if you have the answer to it, is Indy just that organized on this stuff? Like, how are they getting this stuff all the time? And their setup is good.
I think it's inertia, right? NCAA headquarters, it's viewed as like the sort of the capital of amateurism, the city of Indianapolis. Everybody knows who's ever been there that it's downtown, it's walkable, there's lots of eating and hotels right there, and that's going to be different with this setup out in the suburbs of Cleveland, so that's going to be different. Like, Detroit's good, but I don't think it's quite that. It's not the same level as Indy with that kind of thing, right? But I think there's some degree of inertia there, and you need aggressive people who are going to bid for this stuff. Like, again, you can't build it and then be like, oh, well, we didn't get it. It's like you've got to leverage the power of this state, the passion of the people in this state. And then, again, I don't exactly know how it would work, but Ohio State's got to throw its weight around. It's like we won a Big Ten championship game in the state of Ohio, right? And we want to be on some kind of cycle or, not equal, but the Big Ten championship game should be in Ohio twice a decade or whatever, right? So, again, but we've never – the building is the start, but then, you have to have the aggression of the people who are going to negotiate this stuff to make it happen. So, it's just, it's good. We've been to – I feel like Indianapolis is my second home, right? Right. Ohio State fans, you've been over there so many millions of times, but – this is our state, so let's do something.
Doug, it opened up a conversation of a bigger topic, which is the spot that Ross Bjork is in right now. And I think it's among the more difficult jobs. Now, he's compensated very well for it, so no one's going to feel sorry for him. But as an athletic director at Big State U now, and you're trying to, we got to get NIL funded. We got to try to keep 36 sports. We got to try to do all these things. There's one other big thing that's out there. They need a massive renovation or something to the shoe. It's known. It's been known for a while. It's every year it gets worse and worse. It's a really old building, and they've tried to put Band-Aids on it from here and there, and sometimes it works, but big picture, it probably isn't. And I did wonder if they ever do something like that. Could they play home games up there as they play a couple of home games up there to try to do it? If you were Ross Bjork and you were tasked with trying to modernize Ohio Stadium, where would you even begin? And furthermore, in this climate of college athletics, can you even afford to do it?
Fascinating. Like, we have all these 100-year-old, 90-year-old stadiums around the country that all got built in a similar era. And like Bill and I have had this discussion. We want to do a project on this. Like, I don't know, when you build a stadium 100 years ago where you're like, yeah, this should last for 500 years. Right. Like the Roman Colosseum. We'll never have to build another one ever. Or is it like, if you look around and say, yeah, like 100 years is pretty good. Maybe we need to build another thing. And it's hard. Like, not everything that's old is historic. And it's why I think it's on a very different level, but I'm fascinated by the new Northwestern Stadium. And it's an apples and oranges comparison for Ohio Stadium, because the old stadium at Northwestern was horrible, and the new one's going to be small, right? But it's going to be new. And so when people go to that, I am curious if it is going to trigger, if you don't just try to fix, and you suck it up and take 2 years and tear down and rebuild, this is what you could do. And it's not just an Ohio State conversation, it's all over the country. You know, Kansas did like a year where Kansas football played away and they rebuilt half the stadium, and they're going to keep doing half. Yep. But like everyone's facing similar conversations here. I don't know enough about the particulars of it, but I don't think you can just say like, well, you could never tear down Ohio Stadium because it's Ohio Stadium, because then like, what are you going to do in 300 years? Or you can be like, well, you can't tear it down. It's been here for 400 years. It's like, well, you know, you tear down old buildings all the time. So I'm not calling for tearing down Ohio Stadium, but I think the bottom thing for Ross and everybody is you've got to have every possibility on the table. And if you got to the point where Ohio State football had to play outside of Columbus for 2 seasons to make this happen, you'd be set up better than almost anywhere else. You'd play a couple in Cincinnati, play a couple in Cleveland. You could play a non-conference game at the Crew Stadium. Like, you could do something. You could do some cool stuff, and then when you were done, you'd have the best venue in North America, right? So like, and then you'd have it for another 100 years. So you have to have like big time thinking. And I know there are people who are like, well, you could never do that. It's like, we can't just be in the business of like tearing down 100-year-old building is off the table. Right. So you have to think of everything, and you have to suck it up. Like, whatever you got to do for 2 years, if the payoff is 100 years of something great, you've got to think of that. It can't just be patching the hole on the tire for 50 years and think that's the only solution.
Well, Doug, I saw an apples to apples when I was in North Florida. I went back to Tallahassee for the first time in 20 years, and I saw what they did there. And I don't know what the final price tag on it was. My hunch is it was around $500 million. But, buddy, like, their luxury suites would rival Real Madrid's. I mean, it was stunning what their luxury and even their upper level seating, like what they had done, some of the club stuff that they had done, some of the spaces that they had done, it was totally next level. Now, we'll see if it worked out for them, because would that $500 million been better served towards buying a roster because they stink at football right now? I don't know. And we'll see if it all kind of adds up. But I'm walking through this thing and I'm going like, if they're charging X amount for one of these down here in this market, it's 5X in Columbus if they ever had this type of amenities.
Yeah. And I know people have had that conversation around Northwestern too. Like, why not just pay the players? And it's like, I'm curious to see in the Big Ten. All right, well, it's this great new place. It's cool to come to. It gets fans and donors fired up to then give more money, right? Yeah. That like, that you're not complaining about the bathrooms, you're not complaining about the concession stand lines, you're not complaining about the Wi-Fi, you're not complaining about the video board, you're not complaining that your seat's uncomfortable. And again, like, I'm not saying tear down the shoe, but I'm saying like, like, we have to be realistic. But like, the bill's coming due on all these things at once, and it is something, like Wrigley and Fenway are still there, but like Tiger Stadium's not still there, and they rebuilt Yankee Stadium, and like baseball has reckoned with this, and like some some patched the tire, some built all new, So, like, I don't know, are people sitting around right now being like, I can't believe they tore down Tiger Stadium, 20 years later? It's like, no, it's fine, Yeah. Like, time marches on. So the thing in sports and in life, you have to hold on to your history for the best parts of it, but you can't be held back by it. So never forget Chick Harley, but you can't be afraid to say, like, well, the house that Harley built, like, we're going to do something with that because it's not the 1920s anymore.
And the crazy thing for Ross, and this brings it full circle, is who's paying for it? It was $1.3 million to build Ohio Stadium in 1922. Adjusted for inflation, the purchasing power, $25.5 million now. A new stadium's $1 billion minimum.
And
who's paying for that?
You got to name it. Like, you can't be offended that it's not called Ohio Stadium. Like, call it whatever you want. Call it Giant Business That Gave Us Money Stadium. Who cares? You can still call it the shoe. Like, they can't, it's not thought police, whatever. So, like, sell what you got to sell. Who cares if there's an advertisement on the field? Like, people get caught up in these things. That's not what it's about. It's about having, like, a cool, comfortable, safe place to go watch the team you love. And, name it, put up advertisements. Who cares? Yeah. But, like, you can't like be watching football in a crumbling stadium where your butt's getting sore because the seats stink.
No, this is what I love about our little chats here, buddy. I wasn't even intending to go here, and then this is where we end up. And now I could do another hour on this because I think there's about 60,000 questions on it, pal.
And people, I understand. I'm not, like, being dismissive of history. I'm not. But you have to have a realistic view of it. And this is not like, spitting in the face of tradition. Like, tradition is what is a huge part of Ohio State football. But also why Ohio State football is still great is the foundation of tradition and the adaptability to each new era.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have to be able to combine the both. And that Ohio State's ability to do that is why Ohio State's the best college football program and the healthiest and the strongest in the nation. And if you allow yourself to get, to hold on to the past too hard, it will catch up to you.
Nailed it, as you always do. Good stuff, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thanks, brother. I'll see you.
There he goes. Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. The Substack is billandougosu.substack.com. We'll get you 3 things on a Friday. Up next, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Mortgage rates have dropped, and the best news is they're expected to go down even more. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. If you've been thinking about buying a new home, now is the time. And with Third Federal's Buy Now, Refi Later program, you don't have to wait for rates to drop again. You get the guaranteed lowest rate now, and if rates drop later, even after you close, you can refinance to a lower rate for free. That's right, for free. And now with Third Federal's early rate lock, you can lock in the guaranteed lowest rate even before you find a house. So you'll always have the best rate. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today and lock in the guaranteed lowest rate.
Right now at Third Federal, lock in 5.99% APR 6.02% on a 30-year fixed rate purchase mortgage and refinance later if rates go down for free. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for buy now, refi later. Lowest rate guarantee and early rate lock at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Sign your kids up for the Columbus Aviators Kids Club and score 2 free tickets to a game. Join now at UFLaviators.com to join today.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes. GLakesHyundai.com.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are.
This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Rockman and Ice.
In or out on dating somebody taller than you? My ego wouldn't be bruised walking into places and people saying your girlfriend's so much taller than you. I don't care.
Rockman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Anthony Schlegel here, and I'll be straight with you. Working with Newman Roofing, it was easy. That's not something you say about home projects very often. No high-pressure sales, no nonsense, just an honest opinion and a fair estimate on what actually needs to get done. They're not trying to sell you something you don't need. They take their time, walk you through what's going on with your home, and give you real options that fit you. Everything's laid out up front, so when project day hits, there are no surprises. Crew shows up, attack and dominates, get it done on time. And knowing the Newman family is involved in every part of the business, that matters. You can feel they actually care about the work and the people they serve. That's why I recommend Newman Roofing. If your roof needs repair or replacement, call 614-NEW-ROOF for a free estimate or go to newmanroofing.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Polarizing topic when you talk about the shoe, and I think that's what makes it such a hard spot for Ross. Because Doug and I can talk about, oh, yeah, tear it down, build a new one, or we talked about earlier this week of like tearing down half of it and then doing the other half or remodeling, whatever. Use the John Cooper line, an old house is an old house, all the things that come with that. But then in the end, whatever your choice is going to be, we can all acknowledge that it needs to be improved in a big way. Who's paying for it? And where's that money coming from? And that's where it gets really tricky when you think about $1.3 million to build it in 1922, which is worth $25.5 million now. And you're not getting anything done with under short of $1 billion to build a new stadium. And that's fundraising in a big way, fellas. Reese, what do you have on the poll today, buddy?
Well, speaking of funds and new stadiums, the fan poll sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub asks, will Cleveland ever host a Super Bowl? 58% say no.
I think they will. I'm not sure if it'll be in the next 5 years. That would get you through 2031. But I think one time in the 30s, you're going to get a Super Bowl in Ohio. I think it's going to happen. And I think you're going to get a national championship game, too. I think that you should. And I think you'll get both of those things over the next decade or so. All right, time for 3 things on a Friday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
I know this is the worst time of year. What we just got through April and the back half of March, you get a handful of days that are decent, but other than that, it's a steady diet of 40s and rain and gray and just I swear this wasn't the way it was when I first moved here 20 years ago, that you actually had. I remember playing a lot of golf in the spring. I've played once or twice this spring. Maybe just once now that I think about it. And I remember I used to play quite a bit, and I don't think that's just in my mind's eye. And it feels like what used to be May is now like gone. Like it just goes from this to 90 in June. I have nothing to back it up scientifically. Have to get Meredith on it. But holy smokes, this just sucks the life out of you, this 40-degree, high 40s, misty rain garbage.
First thing for me, so appreciate everybody who interacts with us on the YouTube chat daily. This popped for the first time I saw it today, so I apologize to AR Buckeye Guy 85 if he's been in the chat before, but he says he's a loyal listener, and he listens every day from Arkansas. And so we had our discussion about the Hogs and their NIL enthusiasm, and I asked him about their enthusiasm towards football. Quote, they're all in on Coach Cal and the baseball team. They got Walmart, Tyson, J.B. Hunt, and a man named Frank who owns a couple dealerships that's a booster. End quote. So it feels like their priorities are Coach Cal, baseball, then Hogs football.
It's actually pretty smart of them to do it that way, because basketball you can manipulate financially much quicker and much more straightforward. Football's a little harder, but basketball you can have an immediate impact. One class, one portal. That's pretty smart, and that also speaks to something I talk about all the time. The popularity of Southern college baseball is pretty remarkable.
Bo, you before I get to my first thing here, you mentioned polarizing topic. Oh my gosh, the YouTube chat is infighting right now.
Oh no,
about the shoe.
We're all friends.
It is crazy. I thought this was pretty cool. 5 years after leaving Georgia to go to the NFL, Buffalo Bills running back James Cook is officially a college graduate. He will be walking at Georgia's commencement ceremony on May 8th. He will receive a bachelor's degree in family and consumer sciences. He majored in housing management and policy. Good job out of James Cook. I don't know what his why was with that, but that's a pretty awesome story to hear.
Yeah, good to see it. Number two for me, so was not really interested in any of the sports that was on last night, and so was bouncing around looking for something, as I tend to do, and one of the HBOs had Deadwood on a stream, and I've said many times that I think season 1 of Deadwood is the best single season of television that's ever been done, and I stand by it. I rewatched a couple episodes of it last night. God, that series was incredible. It ended up being 3 seasons of it. The second and third aren't quite as strong as the first, but they're all very, very good. And it's one of those things where I'm watching, I'm like, God, we used to make things. There used to be like 4 or 5 series on, whether it was HBO or AMC in the Breaking Bad, Mad Men era, that were just bangers. And it felt like for a while there, everything HBO did was like that. I mean, just think that was airing at the same time as Rome and Sopranos were all airing at the same time. It's crazy.
Second thing for me, so Fish went to the fort this weekend, but I'll do him proud with this vertical or horizontal tease. Anyway, Ryan Day next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mark your calendars accordingly.
Is that a vertical and a horizontal?
I can't remember which. Sorry, Fish.
Bo, you mentioned golf. Well, I have not touched a golf club this year. And Sunday, after the fan call-in show from 8 to 9 here on The Fan, the very first Tito's Columbus Major of the year is happening at the Augusta of the Midwest Raymond Memorial. And it's not going to happen today because of the weather. And tomorrow morning, I've got to work, and then I've got an engagement tomorrow night. So I don't think any golfing's happening tomorrow. So I think we're going out and playing in this tournament, and we're just going to wing it.
You're raw dogging it?
First time we've touched a club all year. Let's go.
Oh, baby. Who's the favorite in this thing?
Oh, I have no clue. I know it isn't me, though, at this point.
Is AR in it?
AR's not in it.
Yeah,
I think we've got 14 guys. Maybe Scotty Vegas. Maybe I'd put Scotty Vegas at the favorite.
Vegas can play. Yeah. All right. Number 3 for me. Look, everything is costing more and more, and so you're trying to be smart where you can. So I had a conversation with my wife, and I said, maybe we wait a little longer to open the pool this year. It feels like the weather's been pretty brutal, and the kids are not going to get in it when it's 40 degrees, 50 degrees. They're just not. And so I thought that we had agreed to do so. 2 weeks ago, we clearly didn't, as she opened it. And I look out today, and it's in the 40s, and it's gross, and I see the steam just coming off of the thing, and it's just lighting money on fire. Just fun coupons being lit on fire for the next week. Pure joy. Thank you.
Speaking of a crappy time, WDRB in Louisville did some real hard-hitting investigative journalism. Where does all the horse poop go? About twice a day, they're shoveling the horse stalls.
Okay.
And they put it into semi-trucks that are taken out of Churchill Downs off to mushroom farms.
There you go.
WDRB followed the scent to one in Tennessee. Monterey Mushrooms, just outside of Knoxville, is the lucky recipient of 3 to 5 trucks full of deposits each day. So now you know where all that poop go.
Yeah, good fertilizer,
If you've
baby.
asked that question.
Followed the scent. I see what you did there. Follow the scent to Rothman and Ice this afternoon. They will have the recently taken off the market Pat Murphy at 12:30. Talk a little Buckeyes, and Jensen Lewis with Chin Music at 2:30. Hopefully Maddie does not print the shirts, though, for our Cincinnati Reds.
You have that to look forward to, which is nice. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.